have to do is hit the shots at this
They're
point.
coming in.
I've seen a lot of these vehicles, Jukes. A lot of them aren't blown up. They're already smoking. If you're hugging it, I mean, you don't even have to hit the player at that point. You could just be blowing up the buses left and right.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Is this going to be a battle on the edge? Franco is looking in this direction. Rules of War have the high ground. Be Bold look like they're here, but they are not. They're way too far away. They're all the way down. Oh, but Tonko ran out in the open.
Wow.
And even from down in the valley,
Oh!
another player taken out, and that is just going to hurt big time. So Cold Goat going to be running through some smokes here. Going to challenge Franco. Can he hit the shots?
He's feeling the
does a
pressure.
turn.
Oh!
Gets one. Gun swaps through the smoke and had the sight line looking pretty good here, but Franco, just hitting those crouches, just get that nice headshot. Can he get one? He goes for one. Can he get two? Oh, 1 HP. Cold Goat survives.
Yeah, for the most part, I like the idea of Rules of War, but with all that happening, Be Bold was able to just full sprint up the mountainside. 9 eliminations to the squad. David actually having, 6 eliminations to his name alone. NRG holding the south side as well, now taking pod shots at Be Bold. These teams, they all opted to fight on the mountain, and unfortunately looks like no one's going to be winning. Is that
your white t-shirt?
Yeah, you can see Silence there, just laying down, just trying to put some pop shots and take somebody out. You know, they have a good position. At this point, it's just trying to get some eliminations. Mafioso still alive for Alpha 7. 9 eliminations this team has. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys just somehow always stay up no matter what. Hey, NRG still alive here. I'm telling you, when it comes to Miramar, they could definitely put up some points here. They had a good game against Titan Gaming yesterday. Maybe they could try to replicate that, you know, maybe with a top 3 finish. They're in a top 5 position, but they only have 2 players up. They're going to have to make something happen here.
Yeah, I mean, 7 eliminations for the squad. They're looking to maybe at least pin down Team Queso for the time being, but the main issue is going to be this Be Bold solo. He could be peeking over at any time. Just raining disaster. Malaz is actually going to be kind of trying to eye that. But in terms of best spots, I'm loving SLR's position. They kind of just full sent the shack and got Zone Blessed a bit too. So with them being a 3-man, all these teams have lost players early on, and with these just kind of spread of the map, the lay of the land, a lot of these teams could still be losing 1 or 2 players in the next zone.
Yeah, it's totally possible. Let's see what happens. Who's going to win this game? Like you mentioned, SLR dead center.
Put him in there.
This next circle will be the last shift that we'll see. And Koi, man, put in some work in that last game. He's got his eyes set on Team Queso. And that's the thing is that, you know, NRG and Team Queso, they have their eyes set on each other. They can't even really look down. They can't cross that mountain enough to really see them. So it's going to be tough. Actually, I think Milos may have seen him. So they have some sight lines. But SLR under full coverage right now. It's anyone's game. Oh, the nades. The long nades all the way from the mountaintop. Team Queso throwing out those smokes just enough to do it. No way. They're full sending this. Here they go. M2M making the bold push. And they get there. SLR gonna have to make something happen.
It's just the one though. I mean, White Elegy hears the pull up. It's just a matter if you actually go for the shots. The molly comes in, but unfortunately, M2M getting knocked immediately. And it looks like the Overwatch as well if Team Queso got knocked. So even though it's just the solo Jukes, SLR is still hanging on at the shack.
They might be able to get into a top 2 position because now it's only 1 player. It's just Milos, but the nades are coming out. You got to watch out for being in the shack. But he doesn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pick your battles at some point, Chicks. And for the most part, it looks like NRG is still supporting the other NA squad. Team Queso fully pinned down, but the Be Bold player, he's still up. I mean, he has an opening side of the shack on his end, so a lot of these players could still get caught out, but 1 HP, Team Queso not being able to connect it fully, but I mean, the damage is done at that point.
Yeah, Milos needs to be very careful here. It's going to be hard for him to survive this because he does not have a position at all. The zone's going to start closing any second now. The zone's going to go down to nothing. I mean, this could be even an SLR win, but NRG is going to have to make something happen. Don't count on Be Bold just yet. David is a problem by himself. 6 eliminations.
Jeez.
This man's been a 1-man army. Oh, and did he have what did he have? Okay, I thought I saw something else for a second. Oh yeah, down south. You see that AWM in the. Can we see a last second snipe? That'd be insane.
I mean, he's got the angle, but Milos isn't really giving SLR the time to peek. He's just taking pod shots, and I'm not even sure if Milos will be able to make it into the next zone. He's just outside of it. And for the most part, if you're either duo of SLR and NRG, you're praying to God that either of these solos gets eliminated, because the push onto the shack, it's going to be a task to deal with itself. You don't want any sort of side shots coming at you.
Right, you are. You don't want none of that work right now. And I'm looking at the map as we see Team Queso eliminated. So that angle is gone. David should have a good sight line now. Let's see what happens as Malaz is trying to find some more angles. Maybe he was even looking for some loot. Throws a smoke out. Does he see that? He does.
Oh.
Sees him wide on the open. Got to hit those shots. David hitting the salsa.
Ooh.
Able to get that lay down and gets
no.
the knock. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's an absolute throw. David, I mean, he's just putting on a clinic right now at the M4. And if you're NRG, I really question why you're stopping in the open, but you're having to have J7 peek over. You're in the dead sight lines of SLR. 1 HP. Amazing win out of SLR, but you really got to question what NRG is doing in that situation, because B-Bold should not have had that knock and kill whatsoever.
That was crazy. David, got to give it up to him though, man.
Yeah.
What a play towards the end. He was outclassing so many teams. I mean, the guy almost took out 2 squads all by himself.
And that's the whole idea is, you know, any player in this lobby, if they're feeling it, they're able to really have those pop-off performances. We're talking Malaz in a buggy, fully smoked, getting essentially triple headshotted out of it. Taylor, I really got to get your kind of mind around it, because I'm still kind of baffled why NRG in the first place even went over there.
It's confusing getting it. I think this was a game of bad positioning as a whole, man. And you could even go all the way back to the very start, or even a little bit further than that, excuse me. But it's like 9Z pushing at one point, right? Pushing a compound.
Yeah.
Doing so, they leave Simple on the tower, who should have had an impact, but at that point, Team Liquid, they just don't take the bait. They don't push out. They understand there's an Overwatch. And by the way, before I even get too deep into that, Wancho, Hot Juice. Wancho in this play, perfect plays, perfect shots, ultimately shut down, but Titan Gaming still wins that early fight. And that was very early against AGG. All 3 survived, so they end up pushing out. Wancho hitting shots like that gives me great faith. Titan Gaming, they can be cool, they can be serious. They don't get the best placing, but that was still good to see.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, man, he's the best coach. The best coach that could play, you know, out of all the coaches in this game. So I'm telling you, Juancho, he definitely hits those. And I'll tell you another person that hit those. David from B-Bold, right, Taylor?
Yes, B-Bold was on fire. David at the end especially was incredible. And B-Bold started showing their great teamwork against Influence Rage. This is the Team Liquid fight, though. I cannot believe Chief even had a chance in this fight against B-Bold. He switches to a secondary. He still almost wins, just a sliver of health. I think if he connects shots, B-Bold is dead to rights in that engagement. Team Liquid would survive, but that's where the B-Bold kind of rally started there, and ultimately ended up finishing incredibly strong. B-Bold was just on fire. The long shots. This shot, though, had you guys losing your mind, Enigma.
I mean, if you're losing the 1v1, you had the first, what was it, 15 shots out of the clip on him.
That's
He's
right,
not even looking at you, and then he just holds the spray down and just puts you down. So if you're losing it like that, that's a real mental blow. And I'd honestly be kind of questioning what you even do as a team after that, seeing your teammate kind of just get bodied in the open.
That was Cardozo, by the way, getting the last laugh against 9Z. I know they were pissed they were being held, or at least that push even started that allowed them to get third party ultimately by B-Bold a little bit later. Team Liquid not happy with that, although still finishing okay. 9th place, 5 eliminations, but they always want to do better than that of Alpha 7, who had a stellar game, 5th place, 9 eliminations for themselves. That was David. Now, this play, you know, Alpha 7 is chilling in the shack. They're taken down. Now, this was when SLR gets pushed once again. Hot Jukes, Team Queso pushes aggressively and ultimately ends up being their demise. Winner team's going to learn you can't push SLR. It was in Hyper earlier, and then Team Queso.
SLR's just too good. You got to learn your lesson at this point, right? When they're center zone, don't come knocking, right? I don't know what to say. Now, you know what? I will give it up to Team Queso. I think considering where they're at, you know, on the leaderboards, They needed to do something bold. So I like the fact that we see something, even though it's not like the safest play, I like to see some little craziness. You know what I'm saying?
Aggression's all right. I mean, just like in Hyper pushing onto SLR just last game right an hour ago. I thought it was an okay play. It just wasn't executed the best. Team Queso, though, made an attempt, and you got to respect that. SLR getting a rare W over there in first place. Granted, only 2 eliminations, but still taking home those 12 points. I know they're happy with that. NRG Galaxy, second place. Consistency was the key, and we talked about in pre-show, right? 55 points yesterday. They're looking to replicate that success today, continue to move up the standings. Be Bold had a stellar performance, finishing off in third with 15 eliminations. Loved their fights. It started with Influence Rage, moved on to Team Liquid, and then continued even further. David, though, hitting those wonderful shots. You got to give him credit where credit is due. 9 through 16, though, not looking too pretty. Titan Gaming, really the game of what could have been. Wancho hits 2 wonderful pump shots. He doesn't miss, but ultimately Titan Gaming would fall earlier than they wanted. We look at overall, Team Liquid will gain some more points along with Alpha 7. I tell you what, Nigma, that gap between TL and Alpha 7 is starting to close a bit.
Hey, I mean, it's only, you know, under 20 points and stuff like that now, but it's like we said at the top of the broadcast. Both of those teams are in a class of their own. It's just a battle of, you know, which of the Goliaths are really going to come out on top. But at the end of the day, I still see both of them making on to that next portion, I guess you could say, of these tournaments. But we're seeing it near the bottom of that leaderboard. Fury and Inko, both of the squads that are having sort of those double points, that bonus points day, actually moving down the leaderboard.
Yeah, tough to see, Hot Jukes, because Furia moved up right above that of Team K, so they were just behind Influence Rage. Now they are back down where they started the day in 7th place, just above that of Inco Gaming. They've kind of been neck and neck, whether it be 1.3 points, but Team Queso will move on up, looking like a front runner to break into top 3.
Yeah, it's totally possible, but I'm telling you, Furia and Inco need to have a crazy day today. Like they really do, because this is their opportunity. This is their double points day. All the teams above them have been very consistent here, and if they want to get that last 3rd place spot, you know, they're gonna need to do it here and now, because I'm starting to get a little bit nervous for them, because we're already 2 games in, and every single one of these games they don't put up points. Oh, it hurts big time.
Be Bold and NRG Galaxy will move up a couple of spots. Well done from them. It makes sense that Be Bold and NRG Galaxy continue to move up. Their consistency is there, more so for NRG Galaxy, but that last game for Be Bold was very impressive and showcasing again why Be Bold is in conversation from time to time, from map to map, right? And I just want to put something in the ear of everybody out there in chat. When it comes to double points, it's highly impactful. We see a total of 4 days of double points, right? 4 out of the 5 days of competition, week in and week out. But realistically and truthfully, the teams themselves, each individual team, only has 3 double points days throughout this tournament, okay? And 1 double point day has already been burned through. And I know there are many teams who were not happy with their double points. Today is the 2nd double point day for Group A. They only have 1 more remaining after this. This is where you have to cover ground on the standings. So if you're Inco, Furia, E7 in Hyper, you've got 4 more maps to make a difference. Let's see you do it, because you're only going to get 1 more opportunity next week, and that is it. But 2 maps down, we've seen an Erangel, we've seen a Miramar. We're about to head back into Erangel, where we started off the day. Maybe a chance for Furia and E7 to showcase what they're made of. And I would love to see Team Liquid and Alpha 7 perform as they did in Map 1, because if they do, I'm going to lose my mind once again. Well, we got Zarpatch on site with Cardozan from Team Liquid to break down their Game 1 win. Zarpatch, what did Cardozan have to say?
Match 1 has come and gone. I'm here with Cardozan from E7. They are the winners of the match. I need a stare. This guy is... Anyways, right, Cardozan. Again, you guys are playing amazing. Ajala is beating every Latam team whenever he sees one. And you guys are in the top of the lead. Vocês estão batendo todo mundo. A Ajala está jogando muito bem. Vocês estão em primeiro top na lista. Como você está se sentindo?
Então, me sinto muito bem, a nossa equipe está muito bem também, a gente está confiante e é isso.
We're feeling good, we're feeling confident, that's it. There's not much else to say. Bro, after this match, how do you feel? I mean, it looks like you're going for the championship. I know that's your objective, but how do you feel about it? como vocês acham que vocês vão ficar campeões? Eu sei que esse é o objetivo de vocês, mas com esse desempenho que vocês estão tendo, como você acha que são a oportunidade de você ficar de primeiro?
Se continuar nessa pegada, dá sim para ser campeão, que é o nosso objetivo. Mas a gente é muito pés no chão, vamos jogar queda após queda, dia após dia, até o último dia.
Feet on the ground, and we are doing well. That's our objective, to be the champions. But day after day, let's go day after day. They are doing great. Please stop killing Latin America. Let's go back to you guys.
And welcome back, everybody, to the 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League Americas Spring Season. I'm Taylor Reflections Double, joined by Hot Jukes and Enigma. Hot Jukes were moving back into Arrogale, and I couldn't be more excited. And I'm even looking forward to the game number 6 tonight, right? Going back into Arrogale once again. That first map of the day was incredible. It typically is each and every day, which is funny because we usually see, right, some hot action at the beginning. Teams are ready to fight, and they do, and it's like incredible. But Map 1, let's go back to it, right? Arrogale, Alpha 7, put off one of the best performances I have seen to date. They were looking so good, ready for the international stage.
I mean, they're just on fire here, and they're still putting up points, even though they didn't have, like, the chicken dinners at all that we see. It's just beautiful to watch. And Team Liquid, yeah, they got counted out by 9Z in the last match, but they punished them still. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they went out. And that's kind of like what I was talking about. Like, you don't want to create bad blood between teams, no matter where they're at on the leaderboards, because they could do exactly what 9Z did to them, right? They could just make a kind of crazy push that doesn't really make sense for 9Z, but it took out Team Liquid. And that's going to be hard to deal with if teams start doing that to them.
Yeah, so this is an interesting conversation, Enigma, because 9Z, they're on the battlefield. They can do as they please as a team. They can push any team that they want to push, right? So they decide to push, or at least hold for a while, Team Liquid. And I think they're really waiting for their player on tower to get an opening pick or some opening damage, right? So Team Liquid can kind of make a mistake. That doesn't happen, so 9Z is like, okay, well, we got to push the building. I mean, you think Team Liquid actually gets upset about that 9Z trying to fight them on the battlefield, or is that in poor taste from 9Z's perspective?
I think for the most part, I gotta see why 9Z pushed it for the most part. They actually had the opening knock and thirst onto the Team Liquid squad. That's why they were a 3-man in that building. But the issue is afterwards, if every player stands like ducks in the water in their same exact spots, Team Liquid doesn't have to move anywhere. And then you see 9Z start to struggle. They start to really kind of squirm around the building. And all it takes is a few smoke grenades. We saw Cardozo hitting those shots around the building in the smokes. You're going to really get caught out if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think, 9Z just stagnant. They didn't really know what to do in that play, and that's something we've been talking about hot cheeks from some of the teams in the, some of the 16 teams competing is they get into these moments where they just kind of freeze up, and maybe that's a lack of IGL leadership, maybe that's a lack of experience, but just tough to see. I really hope 9Z fixes that going into game number 3. Watch out for Alpha 7. They're about to be on fire. Hey! The PMSL Pass is active today to the 30th of June. There's a message pinned at the top of chat with the code and a link. Redeem the code with the provided link to earn 20 points in the new PMSL Pass event and be that much closer to earning the Dark Arch Gentleman set and Dark Legend UMP 45. Chat, let us know. Who is going to take the victory in map number 3? Erangel, will it be the usual suspects, or will another team rise up from the depths of the leaderboard? Hot Jukes Enigma, take it away.
Let's get it going. We're back at Erangel. All right, things should be business as usual here for these teams. It's a battle for third place, like I said, at this point, unless I see something just unreal, and it has to be something unreal from these other teams, Enigma.
Yeah.
And you got to see Team Liquid and Alpha 7 just completely fall off. And with how they're playing today, that don't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, we would have kind of seen signs of that if maybe they did poorly yesterday, but both of those squads still had good eliminations. They had a few good placements and stuff like that. So for the most part, it's third and fourth place you're gunning for, especially that third place. You noted it. That is a direct invite to the finals and stuff like that. That fourth place spot, especially if we're an NA team and stuff like that, if we reach that fourth place position, I know for a fact our qualifier kind of history in terms of these tournaments is not great.
Yeah, it's not the best. And even if this is a rebuild season, I want to see at least a lot more cohesion, right?
Yeah.
At the end of this tournament. So, we heard from Stars, right? We heard from him himself. They're making simple mistakes, and when are we going to see those mistakes get fixed? That's going to be the question. As the first zone goes on up, and it's going to be very similar to the past few ones we've seen, right? We've seen a lot of these Eastern circles here lately.
Yeah, and I really do enjoy seeing Be Bold kind of be this only team on the eastern side. They're actually going to have no contests on the vehicle spawn, so there's essentially 3 or 4 of them guaranteed on that road. So I expect them just to go, straight to Gas Naya, loot up, and get their power spot. But all these teams, we're looking at Royals of War, we're looking at N-Hyper, even Entity 7, forced on this far western side. They got to make the biggest rotation, I think, of the tournament almost, especially with N-Hypers being bonus points for the day.
All right, well, let's see what happens here. Is Influence Rage on the move very quickly. See that spoiler popping up. This guy is full sending it. Tonka's got his eyes. Stars caught out. And Colgoat knows exactly where he is.
Yeah,
what a loss.
Bonus points there. We're talking the first 2 games. We saw glimpses of maybe greatness, and it falls apart. That's not the way you want to start the Erangel. And for the most part, it just comes down to maybe he got just a little too egotistical with going for vehicle spawns, and he just gets caught out on a tree.
It's just this roaming thing. It's just they're continuing to roam. They don't have a dedicated drop spot. And, it's unfortunate. I long for the day where we get dedicated vehicle spawns in esports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to deal with a little bit of luck, right, to make sure you get the right vehicle in the right spot. and it's really made things a lot harder for these teams. And now you see Stars trying to hunt down a vehicle, doesn't get there in time, and gets punished for it.
Yeah, I also wonder too, because we see, other teammates of his squad had vehicles. It wasn't like he was forced, like it wasn't like it was a whole 4-man on just this one spot. He just decided to go for it, even if seeing more than one player dropping for it. The rest of your team should kind of just be like, why are we doing this? This is kind of just like a silly play in my mind. And I do agree with you on the guaranteed car spawns. A lot of these parts of the maps, I mean, garage spawns and stuff like that, almost even remove like trikes and stuff like that out of the game. Let's keep it the competitiveness like we like to see. But I mean, for the most part, I can't really blame it too much on the guaranteed vehicle spawns. He just made a bad play.
Yeah, and to be fair too, like at this level, you got to be on point with those with that drop. You got to make sure that you're perfectly on time, fastest possible drop. Otherwise, you're gonna get beat out and taken out, especially if you're one of those teams that roam. So it just hurts to watch, because I don't know why. I mean, I remember game number 1 of the tournament, right? They challenged, I think it was Team Gessel, right?
Yeah.
Over there by Ferry Pier, and they ended up beating him out for the most part, just leaving, I think, 1 player up. And since then, it's just been them roaming around getting punished. So I long for the day where they actually challenge a team. I think they need to at this point.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, they got to make their decisions, and they got to live with them.
I think at the end of week 1 as well, they were dropping Severny at one point. Why not just drive up there? That's free still, even though it was off the plane path. No one's even looting it for the most part. So it's, it's always just kind of question marks that go through our heads. And a lot of these teams, it looks like they're starting to figure it out, especially Be Bold. They're centered up. Obviously, Influence Rage is starting to come towards them. And Hyper, with it being your second double points day, you're only going to have one more after this. You're needing to have that 50, 60 point day, and unfortunately, I don't even know if they've broken double digits yet for bonus points.
No, boy. Well, yeah, that's going to have to get started here and now. We are now officially in match number 3. From here on out, no excuses. Got to put in the work here. And 9Z just holding down this spot. I'd rather see them do that, because, just that last game, they just made a bad decision of a fight. It wasn't necessarily like how they executed it. It was just a terrible fight to take in general. Like, you have to have awareness of when it's time to engage, when it's time to stay, versus just leave them, right?
Yeah.
Position, let them come to you, and then deal with them later.
Always will be question marks. And, in game and stuff like that, I mean, you and I have been in the game and stuff like that before. We know in those situations, it's not as complicated as people make it seem to be. It's, it's black and white for the most part. So it really is kind of just troublesome for us to see. But one team that has kind of been a little bit on the back burner, too, because I'd like to talk about them a little bit now while we're showing them, is Inco Gaming. Kind of just slumbering, it seems, almost on their bonus point day.
Yeah, they had the best bonus point day of week 1. Right, out of everybody. And then today, it just haven't been able to see that happen. I mean, there's still plenty of matches left, right? I mean, 3 good games, and then boom, they are doing a record number. So
yeah,
it's not over yet. We just want to see it sooner rather than later. Entity 7 doing what they do best, getting to center zone. Oh, that was a little bit close. Now it looks like they might have to deal with 9Z, because 9Z is set up for this vehicle rotation. And they were able to just be able to get away from this one. So very fortunate rotation. They're gonna see this vehicle smoking. They might take these shots.
Yeah, but the issue is Koi's behind him as well. It's gonna be 2 vehicles just full smoking out. Entity 7 really kind of struggling to keep their vehicles healthy such early on. We're still only in the stage 1 of the match, so losing vehicle is not a prime position at the moment, with AGG as well behind them. There's every single squad seeming to rotate through this shelter side of zone. And I mean, as much as the car skins look nice, Juice, that doesn't mean they have more HP. You gotta keep those cars alive.
Yeah, that's true. You know what the crazy part is? We don't really talk about it, but we play Aaron Gale more than any other map, right?
Yeah.
How many military zones have we seen so far in this tournament?
0. I mean, we got baited with the one, right? That went right back to the north side to Ferry Pier. All those teams that opted to the south really got punished for it. And it's crazy because the 2 teams that drop on that south side, one of them is the first place team. They don't mind that the zone's so far away, but the rest of these squads, I think they're kind of almost pigeonholed on where the zone goes, and they're not just playing these games that well.
Yeah, we haven't really seen them like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're seeing them every game or every other game. And because of that, we think about it. Team Liquid, they land there.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses for these other teams when it comes to like being able to rotate. They're the #1 team, and they land in a place where, yeah, they get looted up, but it's a difficult rotation to make. No one's camping them out. Nobody is, you know, challenging them at all. And look at this. Somehow they're still going to beat NRG to this position. I'm telling you, like, that's something that I think a lot of teams need to keep an eye on. Is like, how is Team Liquid doing this? How are they having so much success on a map where they're not getting favorable zones?
I think it's almost just you give them too much respect. You got to kind of check them every once in a while in some of these matches, but we don't see NRG, we don't see Team Queso holding bridge camps. It's just letting them rotate in. And I mean, if they drop military base, somehow they're getting into a central spot and zone as a 4-man. Now, wait a second, we're actually seeing it. NRG catching out Chief, the caboose of Team Liquid, getting caught out on rotation.
About time. I mean, I think I agree with you, right? You got to check them, and it's early. Sometimes it's good just to, like, hey, one game, camp out their rotation, just make them second guess themselves. Make them just like be like, oh, we shouldn't just full sand on in, and that little delay could be the difference for them getting a center position or being stuck on the edge, you know? So yeah, I do agree with it. I mean, you got to definitely give them the business here because they are running away with this tournament. 424 points on the day, and third place has 299. So that is a 125 point difference there, folks. Jeez. That's pretty insane.
Hopefully, though, after this match, obviously they only lost the one player of Team Liquid, but NRG kind of was a check in my eyes for it. I wish we saw it more in kind of that first week of the tournament, not waiting so long to do these sort of plays now, because maybe Team Liquid would have been down 50, 60 points. This leaderboard would be a lot closer, but for the most part, the squads are still going to have to rotate in business as usual. And Hyper, we saw as well when the map was up all the way on the west side, so they honestly pull the same idea as NRG a lot of these games. Eat the blue zone for what it seems like the first 3 stages.
Okay. All right. You know, playing it a little close, I may say.
Yeah.
All right. And Entity 7 over by Mansion. They always go to that Mansion side.
Hey.
This is they go there so many so often. I'm surprised nobody's even trying to check them in this position. But this is what I'm talking about, right? Everyone's playing the same game. It doesn't seem like anyone's like trying to do some different strategies, different rotations. Everyone's kind of going to the spots they're comfortable with.
Yeah, and the only 2 teams that can confidently say that, you know, they're fine with playing the same game, just working on those little mistakes, are first and second place. They have the 100-point gap. All these other teams, when I hear errors and stuff like that, we're playing our game, we're over 100 points back. Like, let's put that into perspective. We've had 1 week of play, and we're still that far back in terms of gameplay. The 2-week mark and even the end of the tournament, it's going to be disastrous for some teams on the point spread.
It really is. It's going to be really, really tough. But let's see what ends up happening here. Is Nunez trying to get that bounce nade in? That should get the confirmation.
Ooh.
Does catches Cole Goat just like that. Oh, what happened? Oh, it was Cole Goat that threw one on the Nunez, and now, Nene Bete. Wow. What damage? What damage did this man take?
I mean, it's an elbow shot, if that. Now he's in a 1v1, of course, but the rest of the squad is already fine. And Nenebete, he was the last player alive in the first 2 matches. He's kind of the player you want in these spots. And look at this, he's just running away, Jukes.
Out of here.
Not even going to take the 1v1. And he's like, yep, later, I'm just going to let my teammates shoot.
Out of here, dude. And let's see if Victex can't get the nail. He throws it up top. Oh! Man, he could smell that nade. That was so close to him.
Oh, another?
Victex throwing another one. This man's on point. You can see him staring close. Through the window. That is going to hurt. Vitaly's going to try to get this res off. But, yeah, move out the way. Don't put yourself in an obvious position to just get naded once again.
Yeah, I mean,
jump shot.
You have the players there and stuff like that, but you gotta force Victex into the shots. Where's the cover fire? Barely any damage going down, but the shotgun only takes 1. Barely still any damage going off. I'm worried there's gonna be a third party maybe coming in.
Victex is making plays. I gotta say that. Oh, nice. Finally taken out. But the man definitely put up a fight. I gotta give respect where I see it. And Worlds of War have been doing pretty good. I mean, they're in 4th place. They're doing very good, actually.
Yeah.
They could definitely make a run for that 3rd slot here. Who knows? They have a crazy double points day. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, folks. But it's going to be hard to do here. As Titan Gaming now on the move. Tire getting shot out. Spun out. And now putting some shots on 87, but oh, it was all the way from across the way. All Glory Gaming that was putting in that work on him.
Yeah, this is what happens when you wait so long on your rotation. You still just end up forcing a fight with N87. Now it goes 1 for 1, but is it really worth it as a squad? I mean, Red Ox getting tagged up. I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to use the vehicle in this spot. And with the congestion so much on the south side, everyone, I mean, N87 now down to a solo, AGG forcing the fight. It's a bunch of casualties.
Bunch of casualties going all over the place. Entity 7 getting taken out. And Hyper putting in some work onto Team Liquid. And they take them out. So, and Hyper, 3 eliminations, but they did lose a couple players as well. That, yeah, that's going to hurt.
I think NRG just wiped them as well. Yeah, they actually just kind of caboose behind Team Liquid, just steamrolling and Hyper afterwards. So, 2 eliminations for the NRG squad. They have 3 actually right now in the early game. So these teams finding eliminations. But Team Queso, 1-man army on the stairs right now. Jukes, you do not want to be pushing this DBS.
Oh, no. He's going to be holding that stairs pretty well. He has no coverage at all, though. No nade. Oh, he actually has his mollies.
Oh!
Mollies are going to be... getting caught. And the boxes get shot. Wow. David, I'm telling you, this is the man for Be Bold. He really is. I mean, he is definitely shown that when it comes to like clutch plays, he can do it.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, Team Queso not even getting a single player thirsted on the B-Bowl squad. I wasn't expecting B-Bowl to really be popping off like this, Jigs, but they're kind of making me start to eye him a bit more. We can see the zone shift as well, and with that fight from Royals of War and Inco Gaming, the whole west side is actually completely free. Everyone on the south is moving in.
I think NRG needs to start focusing on just like doing a little bit more scouting and just getting central, you know? Yeah. Like they could definitely push this, you know, instead they're going to be fighting on the edge with Titan Gate. Actually, it looks like it's mostly going to be Spec alone. Again, the team's so separate. They never, when's the last time you saw NRG be able to fight as a squad early game?
Never. I mean, I can't point to any game, and it's kind of a little bit embarrassing that we have to say it so many times now. In my mind, you know, it's the highest potential for early eliminations. If you scare away Titan Gaming like what Spec did, I guess it works out, but now you got to worry about Death Wolves below you. We're seeing Furia now as well rotate onto this north side to the west. All these teams could start seeing you, and if you're not paying attention, you're a free knock and elimination point for them.
And that is not what you want to be, that's for sure. Furia trying to get some more of them double points. Let's see just how many they're going to get. No eliminations so far, but they're trying to find that position. They're on the north side, most likely to be making a push against Alpha 7.
Holy.
Let's see what they're going to end up doing. Oh, Mafioso getting taken down by Be Bold. So, Be Bold, I'm telling you, these guys are in the mix right now. I mean, yeah, they're in 11th place, but I think we're finally starting to see them, you know, fire on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're talking 90 total games. We're reaching that halfway point, like you said, and you'd rather start feeling better coming into the midpoint of the tournament and not still feeling cold. Be Bold, now they were holding that edgy as 9, pushing up onto Alpha 7. They did get the reset, so it's a matter of if you can find the names. David, another game where he's getting an opening knock for a squad, now forcing the pull-up.
All right, let's see what happens here. Be Bold, staying true to their name. That's exactly what they're doing, especially if they're going to challenge Alpha 7. But Furia, man, helping out Alpha 7 at the last second. David's just saying, dude, what are you doing? Right? This is Alpha 7, second place team. We're trying to take them out. Why are you shooting at us?
The frag grenade as well. I mean, getting a finish. Ray has 1 HP. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get the heal off in time, like Grelin and stuff like that. Trying to piece them down. And Furia, they're still being the thorn in the side for both of these squads. Ray is now being knocked on Be Bold. And as much as I like the push, maybe just staying a bit too long on this ridge.
I mean, they tried, but I mean, the good defensive smokes, right, make it just so difficult for them to push. And Furia was able to save Alpha 7, that headache right there, very quickly. So, meanwhile, Playzone catching All Glory Gaming 7. Oh, we're trying to hop on the roof, not able to do so. Gonna get that parkour going. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Nope.
One more
Those shots are gonna say, yeah. Let's just go ahead and stick to this side.
Yeah. Well, this is the beauty, though. When you win the early game fight, you can just start spraying down everyone on the edge of zone. And this is the NRG split we were talking about. They're condensed on the hill, but still only a duo here AGG, though, worrying about
Got it.
Death Wolves eliminated, but still a 4-man next to you. You cannot be giving a knock still to Death Wolves.
All right, well, now it's just Fate. You see Fate by himself. Malaz now looking to catch up with them. Let's see what they're doing. Everybody just kind of playing solos right here.
Yeah.
Fate and Malaz very close. Oh, maybe Spec might get in the mix because it looks like they're going to be battling Death Wolves here. But Death Wolves, I don't think they're trying to avoid this fight at all costs. Maybe they're trying to send it onto that building. It'd be interesting. Let's see what they decide to do. Uh-oh.
Ah, man.
Minnie's out.
Death Wolves, they had that south compound, and they chose to fight NRG instead of taking 9Z's spot. Maybe actually just kind of blocking themselves into the
Headshot.
zone by waiting so long. NRG, now I'd like to see them just leave to that compound to their north, leaving Death Wolves between both squads. And I mean, if you're a 3-man, I think you got to make the call at some point. The zone's coming in, Jukes. You cannot be waiting an edge.
Well, that's what they're planning. That's what they're doing, and they're smoking
Oh,
it out.
no.
They are planning on dedicating this spot. So let's see how it works out for them. They're going to be battling Death Wolves most likely here, taking their time. Uh-oh. Now they're starting to smoke
Okay.
out, but is it too late? No, not yet.
They made
So
it.
they are going to take these reds now. Finally. Ooh, very, very close call.
See, I would have liked the other building, though, Cheeks. Like, I know I'm nitpicking right now, but, I mean, now Furia's on this western side. If Death Wolves choose to actually take the building next to you, they just hold you down. But Titan Gaming, they're trying to hold down this Wizard Tower. Influence Rage pushing in. Someone's got a nade pulled. It looks like it's just Wancho alive, having to dodge a nade, a molly, and he's actually going to jump out. He's got the shotgun again, Jukes. What can he do? But looking the wrong way, unfortunately. Influence Rage wiping Titan Gaming. A big win for the squad.
Big win indeed. Meanwhile, you got Death Wolf still here on this edge. Zone's closing. They're going to have to move soon. Lato Boy trying to find a way in. Yeah, that compound right there is wide open. It is a little weak for that hill, though, so we'll see how they end up playing it. Death Wolves are going to... Oh, full reverse right here.
Wow.
Okay, putting in reverse, baby. And that's
Reverse
exactly
there.
what he's doing here as Lato Boy's going to get meted up because he's ready for a big push.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be ready to push. We're talking stage 5 coming into stage 6. Obviously, there's 30 players live, but you don't know that there's 9 teams remaining. A lot of these squads are still 4-man. If my math's right, I think that's 5 teams as a full 4-man squad. So you're needing to make sure if you take the fight, you're setting yourself in the best situations possible.
Tire got shot out. That's going to make Elite spin out. Going to throw out some smokes here. Nades are starting to come his way.
Oh.
Trash. Catching Connor, and Elite getting shot in the back by that AUG from Koi. Man, Koi from long range can definitely put in work. That's exactly what they're doing. Maybe we can see some more SLR dominance after that win. Maybe that's the buff they need.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Guazal just gets his head taken off there by Vitali. Quick revive. Next zone pops, and it goes right onto Inco Gaming, dead center. That is the place to be. So we could see an Inco Gaming win, but at this point, they got to make sure that nobody pushes up on them. It's going to be very difficult because that's a hard compound to hold.
Yeah, it's a reminder of the first game. Maybe you just condense down and give up half the compound. There's too much room for you really to be watching. But a lot of these teams, we have the map. Thank you to the talent team and stuff like that for getting it for us, because we can see all these teams on the outside, even though they barely have to move, there's not really any cover for them to go towards. I'm calling out Influence Rage, SLR, 9Z, Death Wolves, even NRG. They're fighting for scraps of a building. Not even the whole room is going to be in this next zone, and now we're seeing it. NRG is going to be the ones tested.
Oh, Fate was on the outside, though. That nade does help out a bit. He's able to spot Rato Boy, so he's going to give those calls outs to his teammates. Malaz running out in the open here. Ooh, almost gets naded. And you can see him trying to go for those confirms. Oh, it's just Malaz. Last player up for NRG. Little bounce nade here. Can he hit it?
I mean,
Doesn't.
Fate's-
Not looking good.
Fate's
for
got the
NRG.
pings, but I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time before, he's thirsted, and it's not even going to be just this squad. 9Z pulling in, but it's looking like a 1v2 spot right now, 1 HP. I think he's just going to blow up the vehicle. It's smoking. I think you got to just commit to this. Rattle Boy pulling out the molly, missing it because of the stun. And I think he actually made it with the frag, but oh my goodness. barely making it around. Now just full sending it into the building. There's actually 2 players up. NRG getting wiped, and the building is completely free now for the taking.
Oh, wow. Death Wolves. This is why the team's in 3rd place. Man, they know how to make these pushes happen. Grotto Boy. This guy, he is sneaky. Maybe that's why he does have Rat in his name. He was sitting in that car the whole time. They drove up. They didn't even check the vehicles for people. He popped out. Boom. Gets the knock. So, beautifully done there. SLR down to 2 players, folks. And they're going to be holding this ridge line with everything they got. Koi with the long nade. Does he catch him?
Oh, I think he did good damage, though. He's got 6, though. I mean, all it takes is 1, really, to connect for you to be on the front side, but not hitting the read. Thinking someone snaked to the left. Luckily for them, Inko hasn't been able to push over just yet. We're seeing Beebold as well. They do have just 1 solo left alive. Alpha 7 condensing down, but all these teams are working with really just a ridge on this roadside right now.
Yup. Meanwhile, we got Beebold, final player up. Staying quiet. Oh, he got spotted. He got spotted 100% and gets ran over. Koi with a double nade. Oh, actually, Better Off still live, but that was an eviction notice. And there it is, full sender. What?
I think he got the heal off there. It had to have been. There's still Lil Boy as well, but Influence Rage, they are on the back seat in the smokes. It's not like you have an infinite amount of them. There's got to be a limit to what's in these players' backpacks. And as I say that, Federal's actually got 2 to his name. They could maybe kind of ease the waves out of this bombing zone SLR's throwing on them, but with the zone closing, this isn't going to be the ending spot. They're going to have to move again.
Yeah, see what happens is Federal going to be trying to play from the edge, pushing in the best he possibly can. Things looking very, very scary here. Oh, Little Boy with a beautiful nade on the Koi. That is how you do it. And there's another one. Dragon actually in big trouble, and SLR is out of there.
Yeah, and look at that. INF actually was able to keep a vehicle alive. Federal moving in instantly for the cover. Alpha 7's trying to make this sort of move on this eastern side, but both of those teams got to move in. It's either you play for the eliminations or you play for the spot in zone. And I mean, a lot of these squads were even including Furia now in this conversation of having to work into this next shift. The pressure's going to be on Inko in my eyes.
It definitely is. Yeah, they are the team to beat. They're central zone, but it's so difficult to hold that compound. Alpha 7, I think they're the team to beat, to be honest. Even though they're on the edge, they have 4 people up. You could never count them out.
Yeah. We'll have to see, though. The zone is shifting. Furia looks like they're taking shots on Alpha 7, and they're going to commit to the building. They're going to try to weasel their way in along the wall into these buildings. And we talked about this building or this compound being maybe a little bit too big to hold. Inko actually looks like they're going to try to hold Alpha 7 back. I'd like to see them almost just forfeit it here, Jukes. Just give it to them.
Let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens is Mafioso got that M4 ready to put it to work, because they did get to this broken wall, and that's all they need, to be honest. Now they're going to have coverage. I think it's smart of Inko to just give up this side. Let them push up, let them work it from here, and then deal with them later. But now Death Wolves still up. Ooh, getting shot from all angles, and that's how you do it. Furia really taking full advantage of their double points day. 3 eliminations so far, but they need a lot more. Let's see if they can finish it off here. Is Alpha 7, yeah, set up, posted, and ready to go.
Yeah, we can see him actually being able to keep 4 players alive. They will be able to get that reset, I think, on Kayowski. That's a big player you need in the game. And with this being stage 7, we'll see the next zone shift, and then it goes into nothingness, Juke. So we're talking Alpha 7 on the north. We're talking Inko Gaming in the center compound. INF still scraping by on this east side, and of course Furia on the hill. So all these teams, they still got to keep inching their way closer together. Someone's going to start losing players.
Let's see who's going to be able to win this match. Furia are going to have to make a crazy push here. Actually, yeah, this zone is terrible. None of these players are in it. McGrelling gets a crucial knock here. This zone's about to go into nothing, folks, and nobody is really in this zone. It's going into the wide open. Anyone's game. It's all about timing, right? Which fights are you going to be able to take? Who is going to be the lucky one to just sit and watch and clean up all the eliminations? And Furia, they need these points so bad. And it's not looking good because all eyes are on them right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see Furia just ditch this hillside, just fully commit to the south. I mean, we saw Rose of War on the pull-up on the south side of the compound. That could be the play, but we're seeing it again. Alpha 7. These players with shotguns on the walls. We already saw what happened in the first Erangel, Cheeks. You now want to be near them, and the nades are raining over. You can't even run away from the squad. Now Inco Gaming trying to condense down, getting caught out.
It's an all-out war. What's Furia doing? It looks like they're going to try to hold that edge and just let this fight happen. Revo is going to try to get this first aid off, and Carrillo's full sending it on in. Shotgun in hand. Catches, and then they bet down that corner, but he didn't see. They put up a gas can trap. Beautiful gas can lay down, and Inco trying to turn things around. Dealing with two different teams, though, it's going to be difficult, especially when you got to deal with Alpha 7. But 7 actually going to go ahead and get that thirst. So, and Alpha 7 are out of here.
Yeah, and I mean, Furia pulled up at that same time. Inco Gaming down to a trio. Nenabete is alive, though. Never mind. The Molly spreads into the room. 7 getting naded out as well. It's down to just a solo. They don't know. Vitali's on the edge of this little one-story granny, but 3v1 situation, 4v1 situation, it's going to need to be a miracle for him.
Well, let's see what happens as Inco Gaming 11 eliminations so far. Get the one. Try to gets the thirst. He gets the confirm. Gets shot in the head though. Not looking good, and it's all over. Furia, look at the pop off because they know they needed these points so bad.
Yeah, the double points coming in clutch. They weren't the team at that compound. They rotated all the way from Yasnaya all the way to the west, and at the end of it, they sponged up a lot of those elimination points in those last zones. So amazing plays from the squad. I'm really happy seeing this on their double points there.
Oh, beautifully done right there. I mean, great game for Inco as well, right? I mean, we can't count them out. They're going to put up some big points on the board. Taylor, what do you think about that finish?
Yeah, excited about that finish, right? It was exciting given the fact that Inco, I was watching them from the very start. And center zone, stage 4. Then you transition into stage 5. Still center zone, stage 6, center zone. But they weren't stagnant that entire time, were they? No, they had 4 eliminations staying center zone that quickly went up to, I believe, 7 or 8 before they started getting challenged by Alpha 7. And that's when things started to kind of take a bit of a pause. You know, do we really want this fight? Should we back away? Which they do. But then 7 sets up this beautiful gas grenade. All right, gas can down. Alpha 7 gets that first blood, but then 7 just capitalizes off the gas can grenade. Beautiful setup, wonderful trap. Alpha 7 surely falls right after that. I was just watching Inco's positioning that entire time, just hoping and praying that they would perform well, and they absolutely did. It comes to show you positioning absolutely matters. But let's go to the very start, right? And we talk about B-Bold. David is on fire, shooting the bodies of Team Queso. Hot Jukes. David carrying his intensity from game 1 to game 3.
This is his day. It really is, right? I mean, he is playing like crazy. He's taking out so many squads all by himself. So, I mean, and I can't stress how much of an impact that makes for your entire team. When you have one player just going crazy, it just, it brings that energy up a notch on the whole squad. So, I mean, great time to do it as well.
Great time to do it indeed. Team Queso would ultimately fall in 12th place with 0 eliminations. That's obviously due to the wonderful efforts of B-Bold and David overall as a whole. NRG Galaxy falling a bit shorter than they probably wanted, but 6 elimination is still something to be proud of. Now, Death Wolves, I think, had a decent performance. Enigma Hotchukes at one point was complimenting Death Wolves, saying this is why they're in 3rd place. What did they do well this game 3?
I mean, they made sure to just play together as a squad. We're seeing a lot of these teams taking fights, isolating themselves out. I mean, people just overlooking players in the passenger seat of cars. Rataboy, he literally has Rat in his name. He's pulling off some nice plays in my eyes of kind of either baiting switches or, you know, just playing quiet for the most part. It's super underrated to have a player like that, and it's allowing them to accumulate points when other teams are missing those opportunities.
There was 7 with the gas can grenade. That was a good call for both of you guys. You know, obviously Vaughn tried to move in, but it just didn't work out. 7 was holding it down. You love to see that in Abite as well, doing everything he could. Alpha 7 would fall. This was the final fight, though. Furia versus Inco. Furia's time to shine. They come in for that third party just in the nick of time, Hot Jukes.
Oh yeah, I mean they played it perfectly, and look at the point.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's double points. That's what you want on your double points day, and that's what we've been looking for. 3 more games to go. They're pulling up on game 3. That is surely going to help them, Enigma.
Yeah, I mean, they were quiet for the most part, but both of these squads were talking 30-point games out of 2 of the 4 for Group A. And obviously, the other teams in Group A, they've been a little bit quiet for the most part, but amazing stuff to see out of the squads. And the one thing I'd like to note is both of their elimination counts are essentially in the top 2 of the lobby. So those points, not only is it the placement getting doubled, those eliminations really start to add up on double points.
Without a doubt. And also take note of Alpha 7 with 8. And then you look towards the bottom at 15, Team Liquid with 1. Team Liquid's still going to be in first, but it looks like Alpha 7's looking to take over that #1 spot, something they haven't had for many days at this point in time. I believe off the rip of the series, they had first place, but then ultimately they were dethroned by Team Liquid, who have refused to give up that first place position. Let's take a look at our overall standings and see what that point gap is now going to be. And 425 to 413. So it's, you know, it was 19. Now it's getting even less. Alpha 7 starting to come up, but now we've got a new 3rd and 4th. Hot Jukes Furia in 3rd, Inko in 4th.
Hey, right on time, too, because, you know, we got to remember, Death Wolves, Rolls of War, all these teams are going to have their double points day coming up, too.
Right.
So you had to put some big points up here and now, and that's exactly what happened. There's still 2 more matches left to go.
Yep.
And honestly, I would like to see Fury and Inko get a lot closer to Alpha 7 and Team Liquid. And then on their day, they're going to have to hunt them down.
I tell you what, Enigma, I'm getting excited. If we can get 3 more, and it's got to be perfect, all right? But if we can get 3 more 30-point games, Furia Inko Gaming could be just behind Alpha 7.
Oh, that'd be a blessing for the most part. And I think, you know, a lot of us, because it's new to us, it's foreign for these double points days, we're not really sure how impactful these points can really be. But if Furia, if Inko Gaming, they have another 1st, 2nd place, maybe in 2 out of the 3, maybe even 1 out of 2, or whatever the case may be for them, it could really shoot them up the leaderboard. But I'm still looking 10th place, 14th place, and Hyper. I believe they had 3 eliminations that last match, but only getting 6 points. I mean, we're still looking. I think they just now broke the double digits on bonus points.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to look at because we talk about that point gap from #1 to #2 and then 2 to 3. Now that point gap from even 9 to 10th place where Hyper sits is now 40 points. It's only going to continue to grow. And again, I urge a sense of urgency for the teams who are down there 10 and below. I would even throw, number 9 and below to get a move on. It's double points. Don't do what you've been doing. It's not working. Do something new and risk it all because you've got to get desperate. Claw your way up the leaderboard, especially on your double points day. So for Hyper at this point, this is your time to move up. This is your time to shine. Let's see you do it. Well, that's 3 games down. Our halfway point has been reached. I'm excited for the next 3. Sandhawk is coming up. A map, again, we only see 1 time a day. Today will be the 7th time we have seen it overall as a whole, and it could shake up the leaderboards quite a bit. We're going to have to see. But good news is we've got Zarpatch once again on site to talk with Dragon K from Super Lazy Reflex. Let's hear what he had to say.
Let's go, SLR with the win. You were celebrating up there. I was like, yeah, let's go, SLR. I saw you celebrating. I was like, I know the guys who I'm interviewing. I know the guy who I'm calling from. How you guys are? How you guys feeling this victory?
Okay, for this match, I think we are really lucky actually, and but we know like we on the mountain. We know each side on the top there has the enemy, so we just waiting for the chance to kill them until they're fighting, and you can easily see they're running outside, and the gun was coming. The chance was coming.
The chance was coming. You are in that small hut in the circle, in the middle of the circle.
Yeah.
One from Team Queso, I saw him. He was going, what are you doing, bro? You're gonna get. And you guys killed them. It was a great match.
Yeah. Appreciate. Yeah, we do.
You can do it, guys. We can do it. I'm really happy for you guys. Well done. Let's go, NA.
Who is most likely to stay up all night practicing?
I think it's me. It's like
I'm new for the team. I need to practice more for to get in touch with my teammates.
我最认真了，我最认真了。
He said he's the most hardworking one and he practiced a lot. I think it will be me because I actually practice a lot after we do scrims.
Who is most likely to become a coach in the future?
This Koi, definitely Koi.
I agree.
I think it will probably be Koi or me myself. I'm actually already coaching a PN club in China right now, and Koi has a lot game understanding and experience as well, and he can communicate very well through his strategies. So I think it will be me or Koi.
Who is most likely to rage quit during a game?
Okay, I know. So definitely our manager, his energy. Yeah, cause like he's more focused on the game. I think me, I will be the most raging person because I took everything seriously, and sometimes even when our coach said it's not a big deal, but I still think it's a huge deal. And also, Fushen, maybe a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. 我说你有一点点。不会。He doesn't want to admit.
Who is most likely to become a famous streamer?
我选。
I don't know.
没有人。He think it's nobody in the team because we don't have a lot like desire to publish anything, but I think he has the potential to do it because he has been participating in the Olympic Games in China, in Asia, and he has a lot of fan base, which means if he's willing to publish something in the future, he might be a huge influencer. 主播。
内向，因为比较内向。
Okay, so he said he's a very introvert person.
And welcome back, everybody, to the 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League America Spring Season. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Hot Jukes and Enigma. About to hop into Sandhawk, game number 4. Hot Jukes, meet Enigma. We're talking on the break. Or like, who performed well yesterday when it came to Sandhawk? And number 1 winner chicken dinner was Furia. Right? So Furia coming off a win already on Arrogale. They could go back-to-back. That second spot might be up for grabs. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that it's totally possible, especially if that zone goes to that top left side of the map, right? If it goes to that island, they like dropping there, their chances of winning are ridiculously high. If it doesn't, it's going to be very difficult. At the same time, you got a lot of momentum coming out this last game, right? So how are you going to utilize it?
Utilize it well, hopefully. Enigma, you mentioned Inco Gaming. I think, they ended up only getting 2 points last Sandhawk, so a big improvement needed here if they need to finish strong in the last 3.
Well, I mean, the last match, we did see a lot of signs of life out of them. Unfortunately, the Sandhawk has only played once a day. And for the most part, you don't have the experience until yesterday, so to speak. So these teams, you're really hoping that Arrogale, luckily for both of those squads on double points, they came in strong. Hopefully, like Juke said, they're able to bring it into this next match.
All All right, well, we'll see how it's going to unfold as well for NRG Galaxy. This was the point that Hot Jukes brought up yesterday about NRG Galaxy taking the 1v1s. They're good at doing that, but they're not good with the team effort. So NRG Galaxy hopefully has improved enough going into this Sandhawk that their 1v1s are going to be powerful enough to converge together to make for a stronger push forward. I think the person who gave them an issue last time, or at least yesterday, was Malaz. Malaz was picking up E7, but then he ended up going on his own, ended up falling apart, and then ultimately NRG Galaxy didn't look too good from that point forward. I just want an A. Come on, an A. Let's keep it going today. Today it's in Hyper though, Hot Jukes. That's who we need to go big on map number 4.
Yeah, I think at this point we need to see some lucky zone. That's what they need. They really do, because as far as team cohesion, it's just not there. They're making the simple mistakes that Stars mentioned himself, and hopefully they're going to be able to resolve it. It doesn't look like it'll happen today. I'm praying for that crazy all of a sudden something just clicks and they don't stop. It's just that it's not likely at this point. So hopefully they just get a good zone, right? Are able to utilize it, and then maybe they go off the momentum of that. That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Hoping for that as well, man. And one final point, Enigma, Alpha 7. They were a team that impressed both of you yesterday. Remember that mountain fight? They were going against Death Wolves, and there was this wonderful double push from Alpha 7. With the way they've been playing today, that double push yesterday was child's play. They're going to be bringing the heat from map 4.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Alpha 7, they bring the heat to every match.
Welcome
Let's
in,
be
here,
honest.
Rich.
I'm kind of almost scared if I'm a squad, if I'm knocking a player
Hope
or
you
seeing
can
them
like
thirst
and
one of my
subscribe-
teammates
like
and seeing
and subscribe.
that A7 tag right at the beginning. It's all up in the air in terms of how these teams are feeling.
All right, well, how are the teams feeling? We're about to find out as we head into map number 4 on Sandhawk. Furia, that's the team to watch out for. They took it yesterday. They took the map before just a second ago on Erangel. They're looking to follow it up with another winner chicken dinner. Let's see who takes it. Hot Jukes Enigma, take it away.
Yeah, let's see who takes it indeed. All right, we're now halfway through the day here, folks, and big day for Group A. We've said it once and we'll say it again. These double points are huge, and we saw how impactful they could be, Enigma, in just the last match, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it was 2 of the 4 in terms of those Group A teams successfully, I'd say, having a second Erangel. And today, I mean, for the most part, Sandhawk, this is the map where teams like N-Hyper, Entity 7, if they don't fight each other, this is the map where it could be a huge momentum changer, because we both know anything can happen on Sandhawk. Hopefully they'd be able to use that momentum if things go their way.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to do so here. It all depends on where this first zone goes. Yeah, if it goes to that Camp Alpha Island, they're going to have a good game. If it doesn't, they're going to have a bad game. That's pretty much how it goes, unless, right, they're able to make something happen. Let's see. Where's it going to go? Who's going to get favored?
I'm saying it's going north. I'm looking Titan Gaming, towards Cal and stuff like that. As much as I wanted on this west side, I don't think it's
Hyper
going
needs
that way.
I'm going towards N-Hyper. Let's see. We need to see one of those go down that southern island. But oh baby, Furia! Hey, right? They needed it. They needed it, and they got it. SLR versus 9Z. Who's gonna win this one? Simple. Oh, he's got the guns to do it. The perfect weapons. Bow! Ooh. Goodbye.
I mean, just stuck in the corner. Might as well not even shot. You're kind of at that point. He was as good as dead. White Elegy trying to come in, not even hitting a shot, though. Getting immediately thirsted. SLR now down.
SLR, what is your problem today, man?
Seems like a repeating factor for this squad. But 9Z, this is a team that we've questioned a lot over the last week and 2 days and change. But starting to win the fights now in some of these teams.
Yes, they are. Koi all by himself. If anybody can do it, it's Koi. Simple's about to get beamed right here. Goodbye.
Wow.
Yep, and thirsted. Never mind.
Gotta go for it. Yep. Gotta get it. No helmet, though.
Get the point.
Come on, let's...
Oh, he's jumping.
We gotta relax. There we go. Just take your time.
Yeah,
get
just
the one
relax.
extra point. Look at this. I mean, it's still kind of split. No meds, but he does have a good set of guns to possibly win this. It's just, does Koi hit those shots or not?
Iron Sight legend. Right
Fate,
here.
what are you
One of the hardest
doing,
weapons to
bruh?
hit with the Iron Sight.
Yeah.
Now 9Z should be able to do this 2v1 as long as they don't give him 1v1 opportunities. He'll be okay. They know exactly where he's at.
Yeah, but no
Hey,
utility.
don't doubt the Vector either. The Vector, that. Oh! Gaming! Cole is saying, thank you. I really appreciate that one. And he's going to live for just a little bit longer. Connor's like, are you kidding me?
I mean,
where did he come from?
One in the piggy bank. That's a free point for him. Now, if AGG keeps going, which we both
Take
know
off.
they will, I mean, you got to be going for SLR. You get the other kill on the 9Z. Both of these squads, I mean, you like taking these early game fights. We're fighting for one compound here, Jukes. Ultimately, both of them looking like they're going to get wiped.
Yep. It's not looking good. And I'm telling you, like, if we notice, we said it before, right? Titan, I'm sorry, not Titan, Team Liquid and Alpha 7, they avoid those early fights so often, right? And it just shows just how effective that is, you know. And I think a lot of teams need to try to replicate that. Just, hey, unless it's an obvious one, right? Unless you know, like, hey, they were wide out in the open, they're driving away, let's take them all out right now. Okay, go for it. But if not, you know, just try to avoid these fights at all costs, because it's just not beneficial. The chances of you getting away with a full squad wipe without losing one person is so low at this level, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we see it time and time again. After you lose a player, some people try to do that sort of hero save where they go for the 1v2. We saw White Eulogy go for that. Unfortunately, just giving the free knock over to him, not even getting damage down. So some of these teams, you know, it's always us going to be questioning their ideas of what they want to be doing, and unfortunately, SLR is kind of near the top of that list for it.
Yeah, let's see what happens here with this next play. And Hyper need these points so desperately bad. I mean, we're now in game number 4. There's this match, 2 more left to go. And man, so far they've done nothing. Let's be real, right? They have not had a good day at all. So they need a crazy pop-off game literally every single match after. And you know what? I'm going to say that goes for 10th place on down.
Yeah.
Literally. 10th place on down, all of your bad games, you've already done them, right?
Yeah.
You could still end up in top 3. You really can if we're being honest, right? Just mathematically, there's plenty enough games left to be played. But all of those bad games, you've already spent them. You have to go crazy for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, but we know, you know, PUBG Mobile's not set up like that. You're going to have good and bad games, and as much as you wish that's the ending point of it, we know it's not going to be the case. And even looking at N-Hyper's spot earlier, I was honestly hoping they'd shift more to that north side of the river, because we saw Team Liquid driving by them. We saw Entity 7. They're actually making the swim around N-Hyper. So the team that ultimately is able to farm points on the bridge may be fumbling, but we'll have to put a point on that, because Be Bold actually taking the fight with AGG, already having an elimination early on.
Oh boy, Laura's in. Trying to get that nade off. Oh, he does. Beautifully placed. Be Bold starting to turn things up here. And yeah, he's going to go for that quick little first aid. They hear the shots in the distance, so they realize that, hey, we got to take this player out quickly. And Fran.
Wow.
With a beautiful angle. That's why you don't get on top of rocks, Enigma. Do not get on top of rocks.
I like the view of it, but, you know, I'm not a lion, so I'm not going on top of it. Cardic, so he's kind of working the smoke a good bit, but not enough ammo. All AGG now down to just a solo, and I mean, I think he's just too far to even make a play, but that's not even going to be the end of it. Alpha 7 hearing the commotion. This is the team you don't want to be pulling up on you. Now we're seeing the frags come out.
Here they go. I mean, that's what I'm saying is after a finish, you need to leave. Like, you need to either push, get the finish done, or take off. And Be Bold is now in a very, very bad position, because here comes Alpha 7.
Wow. And I mean, just one pumped out of the DBS. Carrillo not even alone. And I mean, I like the idea of running away, but I wish all 3 players made it out. Being just a solo, there's really not much you're going to be able to do. And look at this, NRG actually completely spread here. May be able to just blow up the vehicle for a free elim.
All right, well, let's see if Lorenzen is just trying to find something. Maybe he can find a shack, get lucky with some circles, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all, especially with the zone. He's just in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Period. Next circle about to pop. Where are we headed? And, oh, yeah, this is a Furia circle. This is what they hope for. This is why they land in that spot. You know, if they get the zone, they're going to go crazy. If they don't, they're most likely going to lose. So they got it. But let's see if they can truly utilize it, because we don't play Sandhawk very often.
Yeah. And the main thing I'd really like to note is, playing these zones and scrims versus tournaments is completely different. The beauty of it is they played it literally yesterday. They played this exact zone. It ended on just the western side. They know what teams like to do when they work around them, and I think now we're starting to see these teams, especially Alpha 7, they've been doing the research where they see these teams fight, where they're dropping, what they're trying to scrap for. They're starting to exploit it, and now a lot of these teams are feeling the pressure.
Yes, they are. Rolls of War now taken out. That's going to be pretty brutal there. But it is Sandhawk. You can't always guarantee a good game on this map. Influence Rage definitely needed those points, though, and that's the team to do it against, right?
Yeah.
I mean, considering that they're right below them on the leaderboards.
Yeah, I mean, you're only 3 points ahead now. Influence Rage still a full 4-man. A little bit of a rough day out of Rules, where I believe they were, top 4 coming into today. So not only are the bad performances maybe catching up on the bonus points today, but also Fury and Inko stepping up in that last match, being able to really start closing the gaps and remind teams that the bonus points are starting to add up.
Yes, they are. And now, yeah, look at that. Adrian from Furia catching some players. I mean, and that's what they should do, right? They have all the sight lines in the world. Now it's time to just get some points. Another one! Are you serious? Inactive getting caught out. That hurts.
Yeah, he can't be doing that. Thirsted immediately. I mean, I know some players would just be screaming, why are you out in the open? But hopefully that's not the case. Juancho now, I mean, he has to try making this end, but I think there's maybe 2 players of Furia looking at this. You also got to worry about Team Liquid maybe kind of hearing the commotion. Oh, you got to hit these shots, Relax. And Juancho actually getting knocked. He's gotten 3 out of 4 here, Jukes, onto the Titan Gaming squad.
Oh boy, let's see right now as Red trying to get some shots off, and this is just crazy.
It's embarrassing.
Furia, this is embarrassing. This really is. I mean, you have vehicles, right? Just drive up, get these reses. He's coming.
Oh no.
Don't tell him he's gonna get these shots off too. No, okay, yeah, that's all you gotta do. That's why I'm like, hey, just use the buggy, full send it on in. But if Adrian hit a back tire, oh, that would have been crazy.
I mean, if he spun him out, you got to run in the open. And the embarrassing thing, too, is even we got to note Juancho out for it is, there's a whole ridge line on this back part of the wall. They opted not to even take it. They just ran straight in the open. And Adrian's like, okay, I did this once, I did it twice, and then he ended up doing it 3 times for a laser. So nice plays out of them. They do only get 1 thirst under the Titan Gaming squad, but definitely not what you want to see out of the NA teams.
Oh man, that is that's how you do it right there. Lay zone catches Carrillo. Oh, Connor gonna get caught out right now on the moped. Full setting it down. Oh, the boost.
Don't flip.
Don't flip. He's gone.
And
yep, that's it.
Early game fight.
Gone. Just like that. Oh, NRG stuck in the blue zone, and look who they're going up against.
Yeah.
Alpha 7. Oh, but guess what? It's not all of NRG.
It's 2.
Because J7 is taken out by E7.
Yep, and what do we got over here? I think it's just a duo on the west, and Alpha 7, they're a full 4-man. They're just going to pull up on you. On the zone shift, though, Furia was centered up, so the Mountain reaping rewards right now. It looks like they're going to get pressured a bit. Not too sure if anything like that's going to be too significant. Spec, though, I mean, he said it, Juke. Split up. He's knocked the zone, actually. Not even going to be making it into the next circle shift.
Oh, man. Brutal. That has got to hurt. Adrian. Oh, getting caught out on the pull-up. Furia, this is a big mistake. The rest of the team's got to be there to support your squad. You have the best position. You can't afford to get pulled up on like the way they just did. And they're losing Adrian. That is brutal. Death Wolves looking to shut them down. And now they realize it is Furia. They're going to stop them 100%.
Yeah, they know the player's all the way far on the south side, but he's not even going to have a weapon out. Igor maybe getting a little too aggressive. 1 HP almost. Now Furia, I mean, they got to make the push. You got the damage
Fucking
down.
NRG,
on the HP bars. Do not let them get anything away, but they're still taking their time. No real aggression. This is taking way too long of a fight. This needs to be ended 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, but guess what? Death Wolves don't care. They don't care. They're going to do everything they can just to hinder Furia, because Furia is above them on the leaderboards, right? By 2 placements now. They're very close together, and it is Furia's double points day. So if Death Wolves go out here, their loss is not going to be nearly as hard as Furia's is, especially considering where Furia's position is. I think this was a set play from Death Wolves.
Yeah, I mean it's going to reap dividends when they come into their own bonus points days, because if Fury Unit, if they win the fight, actually looks like Team Queso I think pulled up, so they understand the mountain is being fought for. I'd like to see these teams almost disengage, but Milo's taking the aggression now down to just a solo Death Wolves player. If I'm Fury, I'm also even giving up the mountain at this point. Play for the next zone shift.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes that is the play. But you know what? Death Wolves knew. Like, hey, this is where Studio lands, right? Let's just go give it up to them. If we take out a couple players, that's good enough, right? That's good enough to punish them. And now Team Queso, I think, is in the same boat. Team Queso said, hey, we got to stop Furia as well. Oh. They're coming up onto this mountainside. Augustus got that third-party action going. And, yeah, Furia either needs to leave and give up this position to try to survive for another day. And I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah, they're going to, like, you know what? Let's just take off, man. There's too many people here. They're hunting us down. Yeah,
don't make one mistake after the other. Obviously, we saw Adrian just getting a little bit too aggressive. Maybe thought it was just one Death Wolves player on the pull-up. Don't throw the game yourself. You know, the mountain's still in play. You can always share the mountain if you hold enough pressure in certain spots. And thankfully for Fury, they're doing just that. Now my eyes are going to be turned on where that zone shift happens and it actually goes to the south. So I could honestly even see Furia leaving the top of the mountain and going to that middle compound just above where Alpha 7 is.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, that next zone centering up in this area. Furia doing a very smart thing of just moving out the way, just letting whatever happens happen in this area, because it's not worth getting taken out early. It's double points day for you. You got to utilize it. But I do like this now, Enigma, because we're starting to see some heads-up plays for teams, right? We're starting to see teams hunt down squads. That's something I've been begging to see, and it's good to start seeing it, even though, yeah, it's still at the almost halfway mark of this tournament.
Yeah, unfortunately, the team that still hasn't learned from their mistakes, we see it solo and our G-player out in zone, but Inco Gaming, they actually are looking for the mountain portion themselves, getting thirsted immediately. Nunez being finished, and okay, so they did have one player knocked. Titan Gaming's in the area. I'm interested in seeing if any more squads are going to look to try to climb the mountain.
Let's see what happens as M2M's holding down the spot. They're just going to camp it out. Yeah, just try to survive, hold the position. You're dead center of zone. No reason to go crazy or move out of your position at all. Titan Gaming rocking a split right now. Alpha 7 holding that compound on the south. They're definitely the team to keep an eye on. Where's Team Liquid at? Oh, Team Liquid is set up for this match.
Yeah, and I mean, they love that compound down at the bottom of the mountainside. The first Erangel of week 1, I believe, on one of those days, they had a miscommunication. Maybe one of them was knocked in a vehicle and thirsted, but I believe they still got a top 5 finish in that game. So them being a 4-man center zone, and you know the mountain isn't actually able to focus on you, you could rotate right underneath and just steal all the elimination points.
All right, you are. That is something that can definitely happen here in the next few minutes. This is the calm before the storm, folks. Stage 4. Next zone is going to be a big one right here, especially if it goes to that southwestern side where Influence Rage is. All these teams are going to have to move, so they're hoping it centers up. Not the worst.
Centering up, I mean, it wouldn't be too bad. One thing I like to see, though, is a lot of teams changed up their game plan from yesterday to today. Same zone, a lot of people focusing the fights. I mean, you even noted it yourself with Death Wolves. Focus the team, especially after that Erangel. You got to be putting pressure on them, checking these sort of teams, and we're going to see the zone shift in this next second or two, and it stays on the mountain, Jukes. Influence Rage on that bottom right side, going to have to start coming up the mountain themselves.
Yes, they are, and the perfect zone shift for all these teams. Influence Rage is the one that's got to move. Alpha 7 are going to have to move here as well. Entity 7 is going to have to be the team that's going to probably gatekeep these squads. And let's see if they're going to be able to do it. And look at that. Federal, he's got his climbing shoes on right now. Could you imagine trying to run up that incline?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe like to that first rock, but, you know, reason why it's a video game and not me having to do it in person like VR or something, that'd be kind of crazy.
That would be brutal right there. I've tried to stick to the high ground all I can. That's all fact. But let's see what Mafioso can do, because Mafioso is the only player right now inside for Alpha 7. So they're rocking a 3-man. But Alpha 7 has already 7 eliminations, so they've done enough. They really have.
Yeah, the nice thing, too, is with Mafioso in zone, they're looking to actually gatekeep Entity 7. He heard them on the pull-up. Again, this is the thing we talked about. good teams from great teams. The good teams, every once in a while, forget to hold the edge of zone and come in with it. They rotate too early. Looks like Alpha 7
yeah, I did it.
Revo and McGrone in the back. And wait, actually, it looks like Influence Rage is moving in. They're forced to start running in the open.
Yes, they are. And they are full sending it. We see McGrell in there throwing the smoke.
I had to end for a little bit, but I came back when I
got around Entity 7, but
I came back.
Right, all the way from the blue zone. Says, hey, we're going to give up our position.
I think it was the end of game 2.
We're going to go ahead and
take
that point.
Yeah, end of game 2.
Oh my gosh, and now Entity 7 has eyes on them. Yeah. Sometimes it's not worth shooting because you just know you're going to go out right after. But sometimes you got to get that point as well. Law, the last one up for Influence Rage.
Yeah, the issue is just Influence Rage. They took a long time on the rotate. Didn't even realize Entity 7 was there. Now it's just going to be Dublin. And, you know, Alpha 7, they lost 2 players, but Mafioso is still alive in the zone as a solo. Both of these teams kind of just holding each other in blue zone. And for the most part, it looks like La is going to just be going for that last elimination. Yeah, I mean, he's not even going to give the point. 7 to their team. It's a nice performance, but with 9 teams left alive, that's going to be 0 placement points for that squad.
Yes, it is. And you can see right now, Fudia trying to continue with those double points. They have 4 so far. So that's going to be 8 total. They have 3 players up. They're doing a great job. I'm glad they were able to eject from that position. Definitely the smart play. As Milaz, last player up for NRG. And Hyper got taken out extremely early. So looking at other teams, Inco, right? Inco have a big opportunity here. They're still up, and Fudia is taking down E7.
Wow.
These are some critical eliminations. That's another one to their total. And they're actually in a really good position here. And that is Entity 7 out of this match.
Yeah, and they just completely kind of separated themselves from the very top of the mountain. There's a lot of different spots you could be playing. Actually, looks like Mafioso's found out, unfortunately for them. 7 eliminations to their name is good, but oh, man. And Gaming, he's got the MG3. Is he going to hit the shots? 1v2 situation. Good nade damage, but Titan Gaming, they're the ones that have to get around the mountain. NRG's in front of them. Like a 1v1 situation, needing to hit the shots. And, I mean, the blue zone, it's doing too much damage, Jukes.
Yeah, it's just punishing right now, especially stage 6. It just picks off like crazy. Malaz, yeah, just trying to make a last-ditch effort to get some points for his team, but Team Liquid is still in the game. Alpha 7 getting taken out. They did 7 points, and that's what you want to do, right? Even if you don't get a good game, a good zone, putting up at least 6 points, that's the ticket to victory, and they do it every single time.
Oh!
Look at this. Oh! Getting ran over by Potro. That's gotta hurt. And their double points. Sandhawk is looking pretty dim here as Team Queso is on the push. Actually, Fudia's on the other side. Nenebet is done for. Nothing he can do. And now it's Team Queso versus Fudia. Fudia, man, back-to-back solid games for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're still 3-man up. They lost Adrian early on, over-aggressing onto the Death Wolf squad. But, oh, wait a second. We might see a player getting ISO'd out. Oh, he didn't go in the building, Jukes, thankfully. But Furia, though, they're still holding this western side. I'm kind of interested more so in seeing what Team Liquid chooses to do if they're going to move up the mountain. But I'm really also just worried there's a solo in the building, and he's not even going to see it coming. Unfortunate for Team Queso, making a lot of great plays, but now no team has 4 players up. We're talking 3 trios and a solo in the lobby.
Guizao's so smart, too. Look at that. He got that instant knock. He gave away his position. Stick and move, right? Hey, move to the other side of these rocks and just survive. Well played there from Guizao. Death Wolves, they know that Team Beauty is still alive, so they want to be able to negate as many points as they can away from them, and now Team Liquid has activated, right? They've been silent this whole time, and they say, okay, it's time to get a chicken dinner now. Let's get it.
You got to challenge your inner bush, especially when it's Gillian, and they're actually going to stand up! The DBS reigns supreme. It's going to be an instant trade, though. But with these fights going on, it's going to allow Team Liquid to start third-partying. And your Furia, you had all the options in the world at one point, just being down to a solo. And
the patience. Be more patient. Just wait. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. Don't give up your position. That trigger discipline is so critical because now Team Liquid thinks this area is completely safe.
I mean, no backpack as well. It just shows the micro decisions that players have to make. And that's why this team, they won the last match. They're coming in for it. Look, Death Wolves, though, they actually just kept moving. They've realized Team Liquid's going to come at them. Force the 1v1, though. Team Queso is going to come on top. We're down as the top 3 teams, Jukes. And Team Liquid, they've got 3 players strong. It's just a matter if they can hit the nades, and it's now going to be 1v1 situations for these solos. Are they going to be able to hit the shots?
Mythic trying to go ahead and take out Team Castle. That's going to give more placement points on the side of Furia, and that's exactly what is going to happen. Beautifully played. The trigger discipline secures a second place position. He might even go for first here. Here he goes. Stands up. Lets his position known. Oh, but Team Liquid, they were waiting for it. They get the chicken dinner in Sandhawk, and we get that fist bump. As, man, this team is just looking unstoppable here.
Yeah, the first game, you know, was maybe a little bit more luck on the solo staying alive, but here, I mean, 3-man strong. They had to move up the mountain, and they took the fights when it mattered most. A lot of these teams crumbling under this team cohesion Team Liquid has, and there's a reason why they're first place is because this team is the most dominant force in the lobby.
Oh man, that is how you do it. That is how you do it right there. Team Liquid, so strong, Taylor. I'm telling you, once they activate, there's no stopping them.
That's right. It took them a while, though, to activate, didn't it? They took their time. I mean, they ended up landing a little bit more south, but come stage 1, going into stage 2, they were already rotated up and basically center zone to join the likes of Furia. So I actually thought Furia, as well as Team Liquid, were going to be fighting much earlier on. And you could even throw Titan Gaming in there as well, because they were all 3 within the same vicinity. But now Team Liquid stayed where they were. Nobody came to them. Nobody wanted to challenge them. But they struck just when they needed to, right in stage 8 to start their dominance towards first place. Winner, winner, chicken dinner from Team Liquid, their second one of the day, right? First one started off in Arrogale. Just when Alpha 7 was starting to catch up, Team Liquid says, nah, it's time to take it all the way back. So let's actually talk about Furia, the second place team. Hot Chooks, 8 eliminations. A solid second game, especially after their first place on Erringa with 7 eliminations. Furia establishes center zone early. Like I said, they had to watch out for Team Liquid, potentially Titan Gaming, but really their first test came against Death Wolves.
Yeah, and you know what? Death Wolves hunted them down, and that's what you got to do, right? If you realize that you're right below the leaderboards, hey, give them a push. It didn't fully work out for Death Wolves, but I appreciate the effort. You know what I'm saying? It's a smart play regardless. You hindered them, and who knows, that one elimination could have been the difference between Furia getting double the eliminations and the chicken dinner, right? So, I mean, that's what you got to do if you know that it's their double points day.
Obviously, we're reaching the tail end of these, or it should be of the replays where Team Liquid ultimately take it. But Enigma, just to compliment Furia once again for their 28 points, right, following a 30-plus point game. Furia had an opportunity right when they were fighting up top. They were going against Death Wolves. They had one more member remaining. TQ rolls up. Furia backs away. How hard do you think that was for Furia to make that decision as opposed to egoing Team Queso?
I mean, it's an ego check. There's nothing else to it. Furia, someone, the IGL's got to just admit, you know, even though we lost a player, there's one player in the building. It's not worth throwing the game. I really enjoy that they chose to go south side.
Yes.
There's that whole kind of mountain that they were able to span out and play on. Farmed a few teams down below, like the likes we saw with Influence Rage and stuff like that when they were coming in. But the team itself was just, I mean, they cut their losses, and they made sure to use the most of the 3 remaining players.
If Furia doesn't back away from that fight, I strongly feel they do not get second place. That fight from Team Queso doesn't go clean, right, Hot Chooks? So good job from them. I love that Furia is evolving, and that third place spot is getting a little bit more comfortable as Death Wolves will fall down. Well, actually, I technically move up over Eco Gaming, but still remain in 4th place. They started today in 3rd. They now trail 24 points behind that of Furia. Still a big gap to go from to catch up to Alpha 7, but they're making progress. Furia, the biggest winner of double points today, Hot Chooks.
Man, if they keep playing like this, they're going to be a problem. I'm going to tell you that right now, because we're seeing them level up. They're making excellent decisions, right? Even though other teams are putting in effort to try and take them out, right? They still secured a second place and got some serious points in this match. So there's still a couple more games left to go. They've had a phenomenal day today. And if they continue playing like this for the rest of the tournament, because there's still a lot of games left,
right,
who knows? They might even be able to challenge those top 2 squads.
They're just playing so intelligent. Like, that's the key takeaway. Furia is playing intelligent PUBG Mobile, and that backing away from Team Queso in that moment after they've already lost a member and not trying to ego chow the last member of Deathwolves and not trying to ego chow Team Queso speaks volumes about what they are willing to do to play for placements. On the second page, nobody moves up or down. It's going to be the same story there. In Hyper continues to struggle just a bit. E7 as well needs to start coming up. They've had glimpses of, wow, this team is incredible, but not consistent enough to move forward to the top 8 at this point in time. Furia, again, the biggest winner today. 2 more games to go, and we're going to be hopping back into Miramar for game number 5. Will Furia continue their trailblaze up the standings? I hope they do, because I want things to get interesting. But if you are a Deathwolves fan or a Team Queso fan, you're hoping Furia makes a mistake so Team Queso or Deathwolves can move up in their spot for 3rd place. Good stuff all around, and Zarpatch is on site conveniently to talk to one of the members from Furia. We're going to be talking to Archazin and getting his thoughts on how today is going.
All right, guys, here we are with Archazin from Furia. Congratulations, you got the victory. Double important because of the double points. How are you guys feeling? Como se estão sentindo? Doble ponto, doble importante para vocês. Como vocês estão?
Cara, estamos muito tranquilos. Nós sabemos que precisava desses pontos, então nós tínhamos que pontuar sim ou sim. E nosso objetivo é ganhar, ser campeão, e é isso.
They're very happy to be able to point. He's been telling me that their objective is to be champion, and they're working for that. But you guys are a bit lower on the table. There's still time, of course. Is there something that you have changed from days past to now? You have been doing great, but still you have some room for improvements. Have you changed anything? Vocês ainda precisam trampar mais para chegar mais em cima naquela tabela? Se estão mudando alguma coisa ou estão jogando do mesmo jeito?
Não, estamos jogando do mesmo jeito, porém não mudamos o nosso jogo. Só aumentamos um pouco a agressividade que precisava e a calma. Então acho que esses eram os fatores principais para nosso time encarregar as vitórias, e acho que é isso.
He says that they're trying to be more calm, but also to be more aggressive, to be able to get more points on the matches and try to go up on the scoreboard. Archazin, thank you very much.
Hi everyone, PUBG Mobile Metro Royale Chapter 20 is coming soon. Curious about what new content there is? Let's take a look. Our focus for this update is on bettering your gaming experience, so we've added a series of improvements. First, we've added quick action functions. Starting now, you can tap to repair all items at once on the loadout page, and you can open multiple gift packs at once in your inventory. We've also improved the firearm status at the start of the match. During the preparation stage, firearms will be reloaded by default and will be set to full auto firing mode. These improvements all aim to save your time while improving efficiency. Additionally, you can now earn EXP from Metro Royale matches. In other words, playing Metro Royale will now contribute towards raising your player level. If you bring a companion into Metro Royale, they will also earn companion EXP. Chapter 20 also brings brand new honor rewards and collectibles. What's different this time is that after you get certain gold collectibles, they can be displayed in your personal space of the main lobby. You also have the chance to unlock home collectible decorations. Place them in your home to show them off to your friends. With the new version update come enemies who've already infiltrated Metro Royale's Arctic base and Misty Port. While you're out exploring, stay vigilant in these areas, as Striders are active there. Oh, and we've also added 2 new firearms in this update, the P90 Cobra and P90 Steel Front. Don't forget to try them out. That sums up all the new Metro Royale content. Chapter 20 is about to begin. Hop into PUBG Mobile Metro Royale and experience it for yourself. We wish you all successful evacuations and bountiful loot.
June. There is a message pinned at the top of chat with the code and a link. Redeem the code with the provided link to earn 20 points in the new PMSL Pass event and be that much closer to earning the Dark Arch Gentleman set and Dark Legend UMP 45. And welcome back, everybody, to the 2024 PUBG Mobile Super League Americas Spring Season. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Hot Jukes and Enigma. And our map rotation, we're getting towards the tail end of the day. We have Miramar and Erangel on the back end. But you'll notice two familiar faces, but one of the same. Team Liquid have taken drop 1 and drop 4. Erangel and Sandhawk, can they be our first team throughout the 7 days here of the America Spring Season to win 3 winner chicken dinners? It's entirely possible. Team Liquid is that team, Hot Jukes.
They are. I mean, if anybody could do it, it's definitely them. They're just so smart. They're just chilling, early zones, avoiding those fights, avoiding, losing people early on. Then they get into end game and just dominate. They play so well together as a team, and it's just a step above everybody else. So at this point, just, hey, hold on for your horses, right? Because Team Liquid is just on a run.
That's right. They're chilling, but they're not Chilean. Enigma, let's talk about it. We're hopping in back to Miramar. Miramar was exciting before because of SLR, Super Lazy Reflex, right? They took the victory. And I will say, SLR, although they haven't been the highest impactful team today, they've been challenged by 2 distinct teams. That's in Hyper and Team Queso, and they have held their ground both times. SLR is still a serious force to reckon with, but where are they falling short in your mind?
I mean, for the most part, it's got to be just keeping 4 players alive into the late game. We're seeing time and time again, a lot of these bottom 8 teams are only having 1, 2 players alive. They're trying to go for an extra placement point, when in actuality, we should be going all the way back to their first engagement in the match and being like, look, how are we losing these fights? That's the biggest part of the game. That's the hardest part of the game, unfortunately, in the sort of competitive scene. But you got to get up to the task. You got to get on the horse, or else you're going to get blown away.
Blown away like Wancho was doing, right? Hey, Titan Gaming, Wancho on Miramar to start, or at least a second map, Hot Jukes, blasting the competition away with perfect shots.
That's what I'm talking about. Back to back, baby. They need a hero. They definitely need a hero for sure. One of these players, Juancho or somebody else, need to do a crazy match, and they need something to happen at this point, because that cohesion, it takes time. It really does take a lot of time to develop. And I like to see that we're seeing some incremental steps, little by little. I'm just waiting to see that fire on cylinders, just group gameplay like we see from teams like Team Liquid and Alpha 7.
Team Liquid, Alpha 7, I'm always going to be the poster child of any great example that we give, right? They're just that wonderful. Be Bold, though, has been on a tear today, Enigma. David is that guy. He was the one shooting bodies when it came to map number 2, Miramar, earlier. He's now returning to Miramar. Be Bold, 3rd place. NRG Galaxy in 2nd. I'd love to see both of those rosters perform well here on map 5.
I mean, you have every right to shoot bodies. He was dropping, what, 5 or 6 that Miramar game. A lot of these teams as well. Obviously, Fury is having a good performance on the day, but when it's other teams' bonus points day, you want to prevent them as much as possible, while you yourself, like Be Bold, are getting points in the matches that matter the most. So I'm hoping that a lot of these teams really start digesting that first week and applying what they've learned from all those unfortunately failed experiences in some of these matches to make the positive start coming out.
Said David, three or 4 eliminations. I just checked. He had 7 from that Miramar. 7 eliminations, which is better than quite literally almost every other team outside of Royals of War, Team Queso, Alpha 7, and NRG Galaxy, man. So to have 7 by himself is pretty spectacular. He's just been on a tear. It excites me when individual players like that perform so well. It's one thing to be performing well as an individual, but Be Bold as a team have been playing so well. I would hate to go against them and run into them on the map at any point in time. I don't care who you are. Be Bold, they're looking to come back and better their performance from 3rd. So what do we got here, right? Team Liquid trying to win their 3rd game of the day, to be the first one to do it. A lot of firsts for them, right? The first to hit 400 points. I think they were the first to hit 300, if I'm not mistaken. They're already in first place. Can they also win 3? And they were also the first to win 2 in a day. So, I mean, they've done everything pretty much. So if we were to give them, trophies for that, their whole trophy shelf would be absolutely stacked, right? So Team Liquid trying to go for 3. I don't know, man. There's just a lot going on in Game 5. I'm hoping Furia takes it, though, because Furia continue that momentum, baby. And I'll be buying your jersey, I promise you, tomorrow. Hey, let's hop into it. We're going back into Miramar. Game number 5. Let's get it. Hot Chooks Enigma, take it away.
Let's get it. And you know what? I will say this. I think that Team Liquid's on a tear because they're just mad. They're just mad that Mythic didn't get the little bonus prize.
The MVP,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Revo
no, it ain't
away
Baldwin.
from them, and I think now they're like, nah, dude, we're going to secure this 100%.
It was Baldwin this morning. It's the fucking Girl
Some
Cup.
crazy games as well, but Team Liquid, when it comes to consistency, they're just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's the girl.
Reason why they're first place. One team though that I really have like seeing at least on the day has been Furia.
Yeah, but
you know,
he ain't on duty
I know
no
that
more.
like Taylor likes to see maybe Team Liquid get a 3-peat, get 3 out of 6 on the day, but in my mind they've already got enough points. I want to see a team from Group A at least get another win, and unfortunately Entity 7 and Hyper, they're out of it in my mind. So I'm hoping for this game,
Does it have to be right this minute?
Shows up and gets another high point game because they were the best for week 1 on the bonus point streaks. You've said it many times yourself. I'm wanting to see some signs of life out of them, not just Furia.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see it, and I need to see
Dude,
it
don't
now.
even start that shit.
There's only 2 matches left today. I mean, if you're now is the time more than ever. So hopefully we can see that. You know, but at this point, it's hard to really just expect it because we're seeing too many simple mistakes, and I'm not seeing any sign of adjustments.
No,
if I'm being really honest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like especially from, you know, NRG right now, it's been really hard to watch because I would be happy to see like, all right, hey, they did a full send together and they lost the fight.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's different, right? Different than just 4-man stratting, everybody playing for themselves and just getting bodied over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the way they're playing. You might as well see them just drop 4 corners, you know, like a solo in the top left, the top right. And it's just because you're not even playing as a squad. Why even bother loading in to the lobby as a 4-man? You might as well have different tags, and so be it. But looks like now they are going to be somewhat together, but we know that they like change in that first zone rotation. And I think kind of unfortunately for most of these teams, the zones today have been kind of away from the playing pad. So a lot of these teams having to make these rotations, which normally I don't think they really have to experience too much.
Oh yeah, they don't. That's for sure. Oh boy, man, it's what do you think about 9Z? 9Z is like a team that's like really hard to kind of put my finger on, right? Because I see them kind of make some kind of crazy plays, like the bad decisions when it comes to pushes, but they do play together as a team, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, you know, like what better of both worlds you want. Is it you want a team that's got experience but not together like NRG? Do you want a team that maybe just doesn't understand what they're doing like 9Z but they play as a squad? It's all up in the air. Maybe you don't like it's a team without brains, so to speak, quote unquote. There's a lot of different things, and we get to really see all of that kind of unfold with so many teams in the lobby. But for the most part, it's kind of just up in the air of what these teams are really doing.
All right. Well, it turns out it looks like we got some words from NRG. So let's hear what they have to say. That's something I'm really looking forward to hearing for sure.
All right, guys. End of match 4. I'm with Melas. 6th place. You were right there at the cliff. It was hard to go up.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the match.
We started at the beginning trying to isolate BBD. We lost one guy, then we tried to leave that engagement. After that, another team wrapped from our back, killed 2 of our guys, and I had a lot of heals. Tried to play a little bit out of zone, get some heal done, and better positioning for my team later on.
How are you guys feeling this week?
Yeah, some mistakes again at the end of the games, but still, yesterday we did good. We did around 44 points, and today we're still on 30 points, which is okay. We have 2 more games, and I think we started this week better than last week, for sure.
For sure. Okay, that's 2 more matches. Let's go. Let's get it.
Go for the chicken.
Let's go for the chicken dinner. Let's go.
Let's go for the chicken dinner, man. That's what we need to see. We need to see it, and sooner rather than later. I mean, it's not their double points day, you know, for NRG. At the same time, though, I mean, they got to be able to put up points, and we got to see progress, right?
Yeah.
Especially in a day like today.
Well, the nice thing is they did note that, 30 points on the day so far. They still got 2 games left. That is kind of an improvement. Obviously, we're not seeing it too much, maybe in that 50 or 60 point range on the days, but I mean, something's better than nothing. We can even note Hyper. I think they're still in that 10, 15 point range total with bonus points. So we're seeing some teams struggle. NRG, thankfully, is showing some sort of gas movement in the engine, but unfortunately, we're needing to see a lot more with it being week 2.
That is for sure. Alrighty, well, SLR going to go ahead and pick up their teammate. He may have hopped out the vehicle just a little early. Oh, actually, going to go ahead and run him on into the taco shop here.
Hey.
Get a little recharge.
Little snack.
Yeah,
little snack.
Like to see that.
Oh, wait a second. Titan Gaming, Alpha 7 jukes. Titan Gaming a little bit spread out. Juancho actually in the front. And I mean, we're seeing it time and time again. This double stack in the vehicle is way too deadly if you're on a buggy.
But look at Alpha 7, right? They this is what I was talking about. Go for an obvious play, like that shot, and if they get him to spin out, they're going to take that elimination and then go from there, right? But they don't get it, they leave. You know what I'm saying? They don't take dumb fights, and that's why Alpha 7 is in second place. They know what to do.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, too, is Titan Gaming, they have the reads themselves. They have to make decisions as well. They're so far back just from those little pod shots that were nowhere close to Juancho. Alpha 7's rotating completely in front of them. And now if you're Titan Gaming, are you even looking in the right direction if Alpha 7 comes from this eastern side? Or are you going to get caught in the open with no one around you?
That's a good question there. Yeah, and I'm telling you, Alpha 7, they have such a big awareness of this game. Well, what's best to do, right? When to take fights, when to avoid them, how to drive. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing. And I think that's why we see so many teams struggling. Cunha, he's got a good idea what to do, and that's just pop on out.
Interesting decisions, to say the least.
So what was it that Hyper said they're struggling with again?
Small mistakes or something. Starlight's not too stressed about it. Something like that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's what was going on. All right. Well, let's see if those can get fixed. It doesn't look like it's going to happen in this game, but it could happen in the last match of the day.
Yeah.
Progress, baby, little by little. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on, NA, USA, USA. Let's get it.
I mean, the candle's already blown out, Jukes. We can relight it at some point, but I got to see more than just, one day of hope out of our teams.
Yeah, one day indeed. Rada Boy on the move. Rada Boy and Death Wolves have had a good day today. They've really been putting in a great effort. It's not their double points day, so of course they get passed up by Furia and Inko. But I don't think they should be too hesitant. They want to put up some more points on the board, but more importantly, right, try to hinder Furia, Inko, all the top teams from just, going off today.
Yeah, and Inko's the team I kind of put on blast for this match. I'm wanting to see them have that sort of high elimination match. The Sandhawk, they had the opportunity, but forced themselves in front of Team Queso and ultimately sandwiched from Furia. So their early game in the zone right now, they are on that northeastern side. The zone is about to close. And for this team, I mean, Death Wolves, this is the beauty of, PMSL and stuff like that, Jukes, is Radaboy and stuff like that. Obviously, Juancho. A lot of these players are having the opportunity to really make a name for themselves and start to stand out. So even if your team isn't performing too well, obviously Death Wolves is performing, in my mind, greatly. Almost not perfect, but, better than most teams. It's great seeing players really stand out and make a name for themselves.
Yes, sir. That's something I enjoy seeing right there. Teams and players, right, doing whatever it takes to make it happen here. Especially since, we're about halfway, right, through this tournament. Yeah. There's still a lot of games left to be played, and hopefully we see these teams just grow, get better and better and better. The problem is though, as you grow, everybody else does too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody levels up. So we have to see a complete spike in just gameplay, especially from the teams 10th place on down, because man, that gap, this is the mark. 338 points is where it's at right now by Furia, and you can see Furia on their double points day trying to catch Victex. He goes rolling, and goodbye Victex. That is the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he blows up the vehicle, but there's no way you get out of this. The rest of the team's not even going to be turning around for him. Just cut your losses. And unfortunately, Miramar is one of those maps where if you land the wrong way off the mountain, your vehicle just instantly starts flipping. And it's kind of a surprise to see with him being in that sort of bus, but it won't matter too much. Unfortunate stuff for Big Tex and Furia. For most teams, it's 1 point, Jigs. That's actually 2 to their name. Of course, it is the bonus points for them on the day. So, unfortunately for these teams, seeing Furia still accumulating points isn't going to be sitting well.
Okay, well, I got a question for you.
Okay.
All right. Royals of War just got taken out by Furia. They know where they're at. Do you think that Royals of War, considering they're in 6th place, do you think that it's worth risking, like, trying to hinder Furia at all here?
I think you got to maybe wait for the zone shift to happen, because in my mind, I don't see it shifting southwest. I don't see it going on. I think it's going to go either north or to the east, maybe to the city. So if you're Royals of War, it's easier to hold the team out in zone rather than just taking the fight to them. So if they could hold Furia, we obviously see Titan Gaming just to the north of them as well. Both of those teams could potentially gatekeep Furia and prevent them from getting eliminations. But the issue at that point is, are you going to be able to hit the shots if you choose to make that play?
Yeah, I don't expect them to go and just do a straight push, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, they're going to keep in mind, like, oh, Furia is right there, and we need to take them out. So maybe their decisions go towards trying to prioritize taking them out rather than just trying to win the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard, though, because they do need points right now. The next zone goes north, right?
Yeah.
Royals of War are Royals of War are in this circle. Furia is completely rotating away, so that storyline is done for, because Furia is battling it out right now, and let's see if they can hold on. Oh, they're taking out Titan Gaming.
Oh, that stuff. I mean, double knock from the squad. Furia Kowski, he's kind of the spearhead of the squad every time, inactive now. 1 HP in the back, and Titan Gaming, I like their positioning, but I don't even think they had an idea. Furia was there just giving them the knocks over and over. Now it's just Juancho and 1v4 situation. You gotta just tuck tail, but I don't even see him making it out of this one.
Yeah, he's on the run right now, just trying to survive. Inactive getting just eliminated, and Titan Gaming, right? Just even though they did well in Miramar yesterday, not able to do good here. It's Coach Juancho versus the world. He's got his nade locked and loaded, trying to maybe get a little pre-nade action here. Oh, and he's in the worst spot to be.
Oh, no. And I mean, the nade ticked him a bit. 1 HP. You might as well just molly yourself if you got it. Don't give him the points. You know it's double. And look at this Furia, though. They didn't even opt to go in the building to give him the 1v1. The utility comes out, and 4 free points from the Titan Gaming squad. No eliminations on Furia.
Hey, double points day, baby. Take those to the bank. 5 eliminations for Furia. This is going to be 3 back-to-back good games from them. I mean, Furia doing exactly what they need to do, right? On the most important day of the week for them.
Yeah, I mean, they got to keep the momentum going. Obviously, a first and, a 2nd place back-to-back game. So really getting the elimination points for them. Unfortunately, it's Alpha 7 and Team Liquid in front of them while the zone shift's closing. But Team Queso, that's another team. They've been kind of quiet on this eastern side. A lot of these teams choosing to play around the mountain.
Playing around the mountain. That is where they go. And 9Z looking to battle it out here with Elite 7. And let's see what ends up happening. This is all the way over here by El Azahar. Uh-oh, looks like Death Wolves punishing and Hyper.
Wow.
One by one, they go down. Last player's up. And that's looking like N-Hyper is going to be eliminated here. Yep, it's just Gunya.
I mean, he almost had the one, but that had to have just been some sort of pull-up. We saw N-Hyper was in zone until basically this zone. So a full send-in, I think they all just got beamed out of the vehicles, to be honest. Really unfortunate stuff to see, but that's not the only thing happening. Entity 7 still taking shots on the 9Z, and both of these squads, they're trying to have to get these elimination points, but every team's looking at you now.
Yes, they are. Let's see what happens as Franco, trying to take some shots to the blue. Go ahead and hop into the vehicle. A smart play. Just go ahead and leave. Oh, spun out at the last second. That tire pop hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Joko, he almost got knocked as well. Obviously, they're the ones closer to zone, but with NRG, with 9Z next to you and stuff like that, you got to make sure that they don't get around you. And 9Z actually looks like they're going to maybe be able to get a full 4-man reset. So 3v4 situation, you got to apply the pressure.
Apply it now, and you can see Hate on the move. Joko going to be doing a drive up most likely. Oh, he sees him. He's got to just go for the run over. Oh, never mind. The nade is going to do it. And yeah, there it is. Quick little run over finish. 9Z knows who they're going against. So if you're going to battle it out, might as well go for it here. It's a 2v3. Not impossible, though.
Yeah,
watch out. Joko with that. Yeah, Joko with that. That buggy, very deadly.
It's too much information you get. I don't even know if 9Z has vehicles. It looks like they're going to have to run in. And NRG, they heard the commotion, but Furia, they got to force the fight with B-Bold. 2 of our hot squads on the day, Jukes.
B-Bold's going to go ahead and full commit on this. They have to take out Furia. Their double point stay. They're already so strong. And Adrian gets knocked. Oh, Augustus, though, with 1 HP. Going to have to make it happen. Try to get this first aid off. He's not going to get it in time. That's it. David's got his number locked and loaded. The bounce nade's about to come out. Never mind. He actually gets across that broken wall. He's doing everything he can, but Aragon shuts down the crazy Furia run.
Yeah, I mean, at least he got that sort of thirst, that elimination point onto the B-Bold team. And now since there's a duo SLRs making their aggression play, we're seeing White Elegy just send it onto the building's 4v2 spot. But with B-Bold, they've been on fire and unfortunately not in the best ways for this match. David being knocked, 1v4 spot, and Horizon, he's going to have to make the moves now and hopefully at least pick up one thirst.
This is the SLR we've been waiting to see, right? Aggression. We needed to see some pushes from them. And now they're starting to utilize it. Okay, SLR, they're at the bottom of the leaderboards. They know they don't want to be there. And let's see how they're going to be able to get out of this. Nade goes on in. And Lorenzen is gone. So SLR, finally, right? Making the right play. And they take out B-Bold.
Yeah, now they've got a prime spot in zone. They don't have to worry about anyone third-partying yet. And since they didn't have anyone knocked, they should be looking for more aggression plays either towards the west or their north. But with it being kind of, you know, foreign to them, they might be taking a bit slower. But Team Liquid, they are still pumping out the damage even in this roadside spot.
Carlos,
what do you even say?
He's like, what is that? Oh, that's a nade. He just shimmied over to the right and just got destroyed. So nice nades there from across the way. Team Queso putting in some work. And Revo getting knocked as well. Man, we're starting to see battles go all over the place, and we're seeing some of the top squads get punished here.
Yeah, AGG a little bit spread. It looks like Alpha 7, even though they have 2 players knocked, they might get a full reset off. AGG, yeah, I mean, they're just cutting their losses. This is one of those spread ideas, Jukes, just too far away from each other. Alpha 7 just 4-man sending it. Zone shift happens. It does go towards the west, but you're Inco Gaming. You're still having to make the fights. I wanted them to pop off this game, but 1v3 situation. He's going to be caught out at some point, and 0 points for the squad.
Yeah, that's going to be it for Inco Gaming. So, not the Miramar they were hoping for, and Alpha 7 hangs on once again. Oh, beautiful play. Revo has to get it perfect, and he does. Able to get the res, and Alpha 7, full squad, still up.
7 eliminations. A lot of these teams, I mean, Team Queso's got 9 to their name. We're seeing the likes of AGG. They fought earlier. 0 eliminations for them. So the 2 hot squads is going to be Alpha 7 and Team Queso. And it looks like a lot of these teams, they're whittling themselves down just for them to get the elims.
Mythic with the Groza and Ghillie suit getting taken out by the legendary squad of Entity 7, man. Entity 7 holding it down right here towards the end. Here we go. Franco going to run across the road. He should be able to make it safely. Now he decides to pop the smoke. And throws another one across the way. Maybe a little bit of a bait smoke there. SLR. 4 players up. Eliki getting naded all the way across from Mafioso.
On the dome. And I mean, Ozan, he's got to get the trade on this, but...
that was right between them. And does damage. Not able to get the finish. McGrellin now pushing up.
Yeah, I mean, he took 0 damage coming in. He's trying to get the thirst. Even if he was to get knocked, his teammates are so close. I mean, he wouldn't be getting thirsted here. Alpha 7 in zone, and now we just see it kind of like a tidal wave coming around this Mountain Jukes. Just a full 4-man roster peeking
The
you.
fuck?
At this point,
Get
I mean,
the
do you
fuck outta
honestly
here,
just
Trey.
leave him down? Never mind. You're giving him another knock, and now this is the full aggression.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, this fight wasn't necessary, you know?
Yeah.
You know you're down and out, you're getting beat. It's better to try and just run away and leave. But maybe that's what they were trying to do and got caught out in the process. Koi is still going to hold this angle for now. Yeah, you know he's gone. There's nothing you can do. Just take off and live to fight just a little bit longer here. And now they know it's Alpha 7, and let's see how they move from there. Because I think once they realize it's Alpha 7, they're like, yeah, let's just completely leave this fight at this point.
Yeah, you got to just look to the east. Just completely ignore him. I'm also seeing it looks like Team Queso starting to constrict down on Entity 7. Entity 7 made that nice play on Team Liquid to get into the zone, but Team Queso, they're the ones with the vehicles. They have all of this roadside to work with, Jukes. Entity 7 could be in for a world of hurt if Team Queso chooses to aggress.
Yeah, here they go. Team Queso moving up little by little. Oh, they're looking at their Golden Marauder. And, starting to put some shots there. Oh, they saw Franco. Franco is trapped by that tree.
Yeah, I wish they stayed on the western side of the road. I don't think they have that many smoke grenades to their name. So you're getting pinned down like this. All it takes is one player to rotate around, and it actually looks like they're going to go for the strong arm kind of play. And no one, I mean, SLR, they took that 2-man loss earlier on the west, allowing Team Queso to just crest the hill, and everyone now, I mean, Entity 7, they're on the back foot.
Yeah, on the back foot. Franco with a beautiful smoke wall. Got to give the heads up. That was a nice play. Able to make it to safety. And now they're going to be rotating away from this fight. That's a smart thing to do. Just avoid this fight almost entirely. And just move into zone. Hate going to throw some nades. Yeah, just to try and distract a little bit. And, oh, never mind. Second thoughts. He's going to try and hold this spot. Maybe try to do a little bit of a back-end play. Interesting to see the split from Entity.
Well, you can't move too early. These teams are going to be aggressing if you allow them to move up. And it already looks like Milos might have a pressure point he can go on to. If he actually pulls up, his team has enough support where I think he would just be able to shoot every Entity 7 player on the side. But we're seeing as well. Koi, he's starting to move towards him. And Franco, I mean, it's just landing on him. Nade after nade right now. Entity 7 now a duo. And
that's it. Full push.
They're not stopping.
Yeah, a couple knocks. That's it. That is a full push from Team Queso. Here they go. Potro running on in. Full sending it. Double checking, make sure there's no one behind them. That Molly might just do it. Oh, just a little bit off the mark there. Hate gonna try to get this res off. It's all up to Franco up close. Not even able to get that first aid off. And that's Entity 7 done for.
Yeah, 1-for-3 trade. If SLR can maybe get a thirst, it'd be worth it for him, but not going to be the case too far along the ridge. So SLR, maybe a chance to pick up 1 or 2 extra points there. Not getting as expressive as I'd like to see, but no. Come on, let's slow it down a bit here, boy. You're not that guy.
Koi saying, I got this, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to full send it onto a full squad of Team Queso. And no, I'm kidding. That is not the play.
I don't give a fuck about the bitch
at this point. SLR. I mean, they won the first Miramar, right? They're gonna. It may have been by luck in their words, not mine. You know.
Yeah.
But they are trying to hold it down here. They're already in a top 6 situation. It's looking good. Death Wolves are in the mix, but you can't count out Alpha 7. 9 eliminations so far.
I was gonna say them and Team Queso. They were the
Team
hot
Queso with a
seeds.
dozen.
Team Queso's got 12 eliminations to their name, and I mean both of the squads I think are 4-man still. So everyone else is. I think you're kind of trying to steer clear of both of these squads.
Yeah, that's going to be the play for sure. The problem is this zone. There's not a lot of coverage here. There's a lot of hills, a lot of dips that you can play, but you know you're not trying to play them unless it's absolutely necessary, and that is exactly what's happening. We'll see where this next zone goes. That's why we see so many teams playing on the edge right now. And we're going to see Colgoat head towards the center, and you can see not very much coverage here.
Wow.
A lot of open angles.
I mean, open angles is kind of light. I mean, he's basically just in the wide open for people. Team Queso, I expect Milos to spot this at some point. He should be able to get shots down on him, but...
The smoke is a dead giveaway. Smoke's just like, look at me, look at me.
Oh, he's moving, though. Oh, I like this. But if he had headshot, and it's not really going to matter. I think maybe a few seconds too late.
Yeah, just a tough play. And that's why nobody's playing the center, folks. Oh, Dragon getting headshotted as well. These shots are just insane. the control from these players on another level. Next zone, dead center onto Alpha 7. Carrillo and Revo are waiting for everybody. It's looking like an Alpha 7 win already.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2-2 split. AGG, they were
I don't
forced back
care.
by Death
That's
Wolves,
the
but
thing, though. I
Alpha
don't
7,
care.
They were holding, I think, the roof of that building still, so just raining terror over every single hillside. And Artix, I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time, indeed. Cardi C, what is he going to do? Waiting for trash. The Death Wolves are going to push
Being
up.
solo, yeah. Oh, God.
See how they decide to do it. But instead, yeah, clear your backs. They're just trying to
I did it, though. I did it. And it's worked.
And they're
So
gonna move
why
in at the
not?
last second.
Yeah, I think it's going to be up to Rataboy, just making sure you clear this little hillside with the buggy. But you also got to worry, Team Queso's got to make this rotation across the open field. Hopefully you don't overlook too many of these small ridges, because it's like you said, there's a lot of nooks and crannies that these teams can be playing. But AGG, I mean, he's moving a lot. I'm really hoping that he kind of just stops moving, because that's way too many sound cues.
Way too many sound cues, indeed. Every little shimmy. Oh, I think they heard it. Yep,
yeah.
they heard it. Rataboy had to heard something.
He's looking for it.
On the
He's just
move.
not committing yet, though.
Patience. What's going to be the play? Cardi C.
Being solo,
Oh, back it up. Little shimmy to the side.
you best believe if I was solo,
And Death Wolves are leaving them alone.
I'm
They're
doing
saying,
what I
"You know
gotta do to survive.
Let's go focus
Little
in this
fuck.
direction." And that could be a good idea because Team Queso are set up on this edge. But I think it's going to go all the way to Circle 9 here, Enigma. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going all the way to the end. It'll be like yesterday with the Team Liquid squad against NRG, but those teams are not alive. SLR getting eliminated. The duo, when they were fighting Alpha 7, reminding themselves that, hey, there is still this duo on the south. More eliminations for the squad, now up to 11. But the AGG solo, he tried to bring one down with them. Unfortunately, the anchor of Alpha 7 getting knocked, but looks like he might be able to get rest.
Let's see if he's going to be able to.
Motherfucker, in PMSL, you know you're doing whatever you
Oh,
got.
that aid
Wow.
looks
You're
dangerous.
doing
and
whatever
they're
you
gonna
gotta
back
do
it
to
on up.
fucking survive.
McGrellan's going to be holding that choke point. Oh, but he gets shot right on the side. That is going to hurt. And that takes away that angle away. And now it's up to Carrillo. Yeah, he's trying to just apply that pressure. Mafioso does get picked up and naded instantly once again. That is the trouble with these late game knocks. It is so difficult to pick your player back up. Now they're just going to go ahead and just leave him be for now. And another nade comes on down. Oh, Carrillo gets pieced up. Deathwolves doing a great job of controlling Alpha 7 from this 3-1.
Yeah, but the issue is it's not just a 4v4 jigs. Team Queso starting to come in on the east. Alpha 7, they haven't finished the player just yet. So Alpha 7 could potentially get a full reset, but as I say that, Revo getting knocked 2 players down. Team Queso's really starting to reap the rewards of them fighting first, and it's starting to look like a steamroll.
Yeah, that fight's taking so long. Team Kessler are trying to get this third party going. Mafioso with no helmet on.
Wow.
Popping up, gets the knock. The shimmies back and forth, and he's going to go for that reset.
Wow.
Meanwhile, yeah, Death Wolves are taking out Team Kessel on a full push to try and take advantage of a hurt Alpha 7.
Yeah, I don't think Team Queso really has
15
any
eliminations.
I don't think they have any frag grenades to their name, and the key component is McGrellan still has a bit of an overwatch for the squad. So even though they were knocked to 2 players down on this ridge, they were still able to keep all 4 players, and now it's just a straight 4v4.
Oh my gosh, Alpha 7 with a Baker. Stuns in. Revo starts the fight off with a critical knock, but Potro with the comeback gets a big one here. If they take out Carrillo, it's going to be good enough. And it is a Team Queso chicken dinner with a whole lot of eliminations.
Yeah, I mean, they needed that. They were in that top 8 range, and then even though it wasn't their double points, they're going to be blowing everyone out of the water other than Alpha 7 in points. And the team, I mean, they just ran up to every squad that was 2 or 3 man, and they just picked them apart. And at the end, obviously, it was a 4v4, but the teamwork was something superb. And Taylor, were you really thinking, Jukes and I were counting 9, 10, 11 eliminations? To the ending 2 squads had double-digit elims. Woo!
It's always possible, but are you
Especially
counting
if
on
they
it? No,
show
you
us
can't count on something like that, right? We've seen Team Liquid take wins without double digits because they take their time, but Come on. At this point, Team Queso, Alpha 7, we're not taking their time. Anything but that, okay? We're going to talk about it. Team Queso finishes off with 19 eliminations. 19 could very well be the record, at least when it comes to America's spring season. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some double checking on that one.
Wait, did I just hear 19 eliminations?
Drops way off at 5. In fact, the closest to Alpha 7 at 13 and Team Queso at 19 was Furia, who finished off in 13th place with 6 eliminations. So you want to talk about wiping out the lobby. Team Queso, Alpha 7, they did exactly that. Incredible stuff. Very impressive. And Team Queso says, man, you know, we've lost our spot. We're looking at Furia takeover. We're looking at Royals of War, challenge us. Now it's time to get back on top. Team Queso doing exactly what they needed to do. So let's talk about it. Furia on your screen, Hot Chooks. They get finished off early, 6 eliminations. What went wrong for the boys?
Oh, man. I mean, it was just a crazy play. I think teams are trying to shut them down. So I think when they realize it is Team Furia, they're going to be doing a little bit extra to try and just kind of tide them a little bit. And I think that's what happened here. And it started off with that elimination onto Death Wolves. And they were just waiting for him here. And it was just an all-out battle, I mean, from all these squads.
Yeah, it's tough, right? When you start to have success, teams start to take notice, especially on your double points day. Furia was just on a bit too much of a terror. Teams knew they needed to shut them down. This was a great push from Team Queso, I believe, onto E7. Enigma taking them all out. It was a shame that player behind the tree couldn't pop the Medi in time.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's just Team Queso going in and out. You might as well call them a tidal wave at this point because they just work as a team. It's always all 4 players on the same page. It's not people making solo plays, and even at the end here, we could see it. Obviously, after the Death Wolves fight, it got to a bit of a reset, but the team itself stayed calm, they stayed composed, and since they've been one of those namesake teams, they were fine with the pressure on this fight, and ultimately, it brings them to close to, obviously, those 19 eliminations in the round.
Wow. 29-point total game for Team Queso without double points. I'm not going to do the math, but that's at least, what, a 50-point game? Something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Coming out from them, right? I mean, that is massive for TQ. I'm excited, right, moving forward to see how well they're going to perform when it comes to their double points day. Alpha 7 just below them at 19. A big win, given the fact Team Liquid finishes off in 8th with just 2 points. Alpha 7's been trying to come up, trying to catch up to Team Liquid, and they're getting that much closer game in and game out. Who knows? Come game 6, we could have another first-place team. E7 with 10, and then Furia with 12. Still happy with that result, given the fact that the rest of Group A Hot Jukes haven't been performing really well today at all. So Furia getting 12th, it's still a win in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they did what they had to. I mean, if you're not going to win the game, put something on the board. And 12 points, are you kidding me? That is solid, right? So, especially considering how well they've done all tournament long, well, not all tournament long, but specifically all day long, right? Team Furia have been putting in that work. This could be the start of, the rise of this team.
Good. Oh, there it is. 1 point separates Team Liquid from Alpha 7. That huge 19-point game is paying off. So game number 6 is going to decide it. Who's finishing off in first today, Team Liquid or Alpha 7? It can only be one. Furia, still with their good effort from earlier, will maintain their 3rd place position. But on the come up is Team Queso after a huge pop-off game without double points, still earning 29. They move up to 319 points in 5th place, just behind that of Death Wolves. So getting very close. Furia still an opportunity to separate themselves from the pack. Will they be able to do so? We'll find out in game number 6. We take a look at 9 through 16. We do have some shifts. Enigma and E7 will move up over 9Z at 190 to 189. But even still, that gap, man, continues to grow. Maybe not 16 through 10, but 10 to 9 and up, man, is just getting crazy.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, with it being double points, you expect Entity 7 and Hyper to be moving more than just one placement. We're not wanting it to be just a one day, a one-hit wonder, one game even you do well, and you gotta be good in every day of every week. And these squads on the bottom 9, they're really just almost handing it over to these top 8 teams.
Handing it over indeed, man, which is tough because it's like you don't want to do that as a competitor, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. You know, it's just it being taken by force. Good games as a whole. That was honestly one of the most entertaining games we've seen all day outside of Map 1 area, which takes the cake. I mean, with Alpha 7 playing as well as they did on that map, I mean, hot jeez, it was just nutty. I see your smile. I'm still smiling from it, too. Game number 6, we're going back into Erangel. Do we replicate what happened in map number 1? I surely hope so. But remember, Team Liquid Alpha 7, who's going to be in first place by the end of the night? And also, will we see Furia continue to rise from their 3rd place spot and separate themselves from the pack? We'll find all that out and more when we come back from our break.
Hi everyone, PUBG Mobile Metro Royale Chapter 20 is coming soon. Curious about what new content there is? Let's take a look. Our focus for this update is on bettering your gaming experience, so we've added a series of improvements. First, we've added quick action functions. Starting now, you can tap to repair all items at once on the loadout page, and you can open multiple gift packs at once in your inventory. We've also improved the firearm status at the start of the match. During the preparation stage, firearms will be reloaded by default and will be set to full auto firing mode. These improvements all aim to save your time while improving efficiency. Additionally, you can now earn EXP from Metro Royale matches. In other words, playing Metro Royale will now contribute towards raising your player level. If you bring a companion into Metro Royale, they will also earn companion EXP. Chapter 20 also brings brand new honor rewards and collectibles. What's different this time is that after you get certain gold collectibles, they can be displayed in your personal space of the main lobby. You also have the chance to unlock home collectible decorations. Place them in your home to show them off to your friends. With the new version update come enemies who've already infiltrated Metro Royale's Arctic base and Misty Port. While you're out exploring, stay vigilant in these areas, as Striders are active there. Oh, and we've also added 2 new firearms in this update, the P90 Cobra and P90 Steel Front. Don't forget to try them out. That sums up all the new Metro Royale content. Chapter 20 is about to begin. Hop into PUBG Mobile Metro Royale and experience it for yourself. We wish you all successful evacuations and bountiful loot.
welcome back everyone to the 2024 PUBG Mobile Super League Americas spring season. I'm Taylor Reflection Noble, joined by Hot Jukes and Enigma. Game 6 is about hot and ready. We're about to hop into it, but Enigma, we just got a stat line that's pretty nutty to say the least. What did we hear?
I mean, for the most part, from production side and stuff like that, I'm looking at Revo 20 eliminations on the day, and we're not even through the 6th game. Alpha 7 star player, the MVP of week 1, looking like he's trying to have a repeat in week 2. And unfortunately for these squads, we're talking now, I believe it's around 88 total eliminations on a player alone. So that 100, that triple digit mark for elims, it's definitely reasonable.
Crazy, Hot Jukes, right? Trying to reach 100 as an individual player, better than some teams have done the entirety of all 7 days.
This is ridiculous, honestly. He wants that MVP again. What can I say? You know what I mean? Team Liquid are going nuts. But what can you do when you just have the aggression of Alpha 7? And that's just, you can just see the difference in playstyles, right? Alpha 7's like, yo, we'll just push anything, take him out. And Team Liquid's like, yo, we'll just chill back and win the game. It's crazy to watch.
That's kind of what they do. And I mean, it pays off. Granted, they did earn some extra money, but Revo's earning some extra cash too, right? Becoming MVP, elimination leader, trying to hit 100. Alpha 7's looking really good, and Revo is a large reason as to why they look so good. Incredible stuff. We'll see how well they could do in game number 6. Hey, chat, the PMSL Pass is active today to the 30th of June. There is a message pinned at the top of chat with a code and a link. Redeem the code with the provided link to earn 20 points in the new PMSL Pass event and be that much closer to earning the Dark Arch Gentleman set and Dark Legend UMP 45. Well, here it is, the final game of day number 7. Who's going to take it? Let us know. Get your predictions in. Hot Jukes Enigma, take it away for our final game.
Final match of the day for Group A's double points. All right, how's Fudia going to finish off here? They had a great run so far, and man, they are looking confident, Enigma. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying seeing that those sort of Group A teams, at least one of them, is performing well on their bonus points days. We saw a lot of teams, they perform well on the off days. When in actuality, you should be aiming, I mean, honestly, praying to the PUBG gods at this point, hoping that everything goes your way on the bonus points days, because they started at 8th place, if I recall, coming into these matches, and now they've already shot up to 3rd. So these teams, especially for those bottom 8 teams, this should be a motivational point for you. You should recognize that, hey, these bonus points, they mean business. They can shoot you up the leaderboard, and we can see when teams struggle on the days and when teams perform well on it.
Hey, these double points are no joke. That is a fact right there. And, you know, kind of the benefit I would say that Fudia has by going so early is that since they had such a great day,
imagine saying I can't even get any kills in a year.
Putting a little bit of effort to try and, you know, stifle some of these other squads.
You for that.
But we got to talk about this zone, Enigma. Are we finally going to get that big southern shift down to military?
I mean, it was 50-50 last time we saw this, and it went to the north. Hopefully it goes to the south, but we're seeing teams like Team K, so they're really grouping around the bridge. Team Liquid, though, take their time. They're going to be the cool cucumbers, as always.
Yeah, I have, motherfucker.
Oh, he's going to live? Yeah, Vitaly survives.
Teammate.
There we go. The ejection being effective. I will say this, though. You know who my eye is on right now?
Who?
SLR.
Motherfucker, the definition of a one-time.
Can you guess why?
Fuck you, motherfucker.
They had a few elims. That's the only thing I can really think of, Jukes.
No, the reason why is because of this zone.
Okay.
Enigma, right? Remember we saw them last time with a zone like this? They decided to take those buildings rather than the hill.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of going back and forth, and then got taken out. I want to see if they commit to an area, right?
Yeah, I have.
They commit to that hill that we saw Team Liquid take, that Death Wolves took, right? Or are they just going to continue to
right before I went away? Yes, the fuck I did.
Down. SLR, we're not the individual players we think we are. Maybe Koi is, but you still want to have players around him if he gets 4-man sent. But people are taking their chances.
He ran over him?
How did he hit him?
The tire.
Oh, man.
Oh, and he survived. Wow. Victex running through Team Kessel, and now he's going to have a back angle. Yep, Potro gets taken out by Victex. Team Kessel with the bridge camp not working out.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Milos not hitting the shots. Maybe it's because of the iron sight, but all
that
of
one.
Rules of War, they're on you like swimwear, and for the most part, these players, it's only a matter of time. Yeah, Milos is down, and I think the last player's all the way to the south, so really unfortunate stuff for the squad after a 19 elimination Miramar match, possibly being the first team to get eliminated.
Wow, what a play there from Royal Support, honestly, right? You got to give it up to them, and that hurts if you're Team Kessel, considering that Royals of War is only 2 positions below you, right?
Yeah.
And they just got outplayed. Honestly, it all started with Victex. Victex being able to cross the road, getting that knock on that buggy. I don't even know how he did it, man. He put those extra wide tires on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And was able to just clip the toes of that Team Castle player. Let's see. Watch. Victex.
Okay.
Got him!
Oh! Literally was the back tire.
No, he stuck his arm out and just straight up decked him on the way out.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That is how you do it.
And this is the crazy thing is we could look at all of those players' gear and stuff like that. Even 9Z. I mean, we're seeing no vests. Some players didn't have helmets on. Like, for the most part, all it takes is 2 or 3 bullets on these early rotations to get the knock. And now, I mean, 9Z's testing their strides for it for the most part. They're needing to pick up this sort of bridge cross if they have any chance of making it into the next zone. Oh!
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Oh, okay.
God, he almost hit the barricade.
That was a little close. Now, other teams that I'm looking at.
My Wi-Fi was fucking up.
And Hyper's last chance to get points.
I will not fuck her.
Well, not again because they're in Group A. This is their big day, and they've had a rough one.
For when you weren't getting ignored, and for
all day long today. They are over by Lipovka right now. So they have one thick rotation they're going to have to do. Alpha 7 have the biggest rotation. They're still all the way in North George, so they're going to have to start heading down here soon as well. And it's going to be interesting to see where honestly, that's what I want to be. My eyes are going to be on Alpha 7, right? Where do they end up on this match, considering that they have such a crazy rotation? Now,
and the only thing that they're hoping for
is the zone goes north. Because if it does, they're going to be real good.
I hope NRG
I think a lot of teams are
does better than in Hyper.
Obviously, we were talking about SLR's choice of spots. They cross to the south, maybe even.
Bro, I swear to God. Jay, you're gonna have to tell me my audio fucked up. Can you still hear me? I need to know, can you still hear me? Lost game sound, but my mic is fine. Bro. My cousin. I don't want to end stream. I don't want to end stream right now and try to restart it because it's gonna be my luck. It's gonna fuck up. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to try. I don't want to restart it because I don't think it's gonna fucking. I think it's just gonna fuck up. Like, I get what you were saying. Fuck it. I'm gonna try.
completely isolated. But if anyone was able to play these kind of rat spots to perfection, he's been doing it every single day of the tournament. So
Well,
if AGG comes in, we're looking at
oh
no,
my gosh!
Not
Are you
like this.
kidding me? What is going on? And I'll tell you what, this is
it work? Did it work?
ridiculous. What a circle! Team Liquid are like,
Let's go.
again, right? Again. And imagine NRG right now, how they're feeling, because this is like the worst possible shift, and Alpha 7 are just laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you see the zone shift like that, it had to have
Thank
been
God.
at least 15, 20 just driving icons on the players. They all understood, yeah, we're going to have to start driving again, guys. This is exactly like yesterday or whatever. Like, we're going to be in for a world of hurt.
What a shift. And I hope people did their homework, because we've seen Rato Boy take that exact spot before on that same bridge. So team should have an idea that it's possible he's chilling there. And he is, all right. Death Wolves are going to start splitting it up. Team Liquid is going to be taking this bridge here soon. We'll see how they decide to play this. All Glory Gaming laughing again to the bank, because this is the ultimate shift for them.
Yeah, I feel bad as well. Like SLR took that swim across. There's a lot of names we could think of where they took that early bridge rotation, either lost players or, you know, just had to sacrifice their cars. And then for it to go all the way back north, I mean, it can't get much worse than that.
Pubg Mobile Super League Americas, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we've been waiting for, that toxicity. Yeah. And we've seen it here. There's always something about competitive land circles that are just give that little extra spiciness, and we definitely see it here in this game. By far, one of the hardest shifts all tournament long. Influence, Rage, Big Chili. This is actually a huge break for N-Hyper. Like, the biggest break they could possibly ask for. How are you going to utilize it? That's the question, right? You don't get blessed like this very often. You cannot squander it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really be worried about your north side, though. You can't focus too much inward because there's teams like Be Bold coming in. I'm seeing Inco Gaming, Titan Gaming rotate around the edge. Everyone's going to have the same idea. And unfortunately,
really does, though.
for a lot of these teams, I think they're going to opt into this northern side instead of going all the way around, because this full eastern side jukes with the hard shift still completely open for the take.
Yes,
Then tell Caitlin to come down and help Larry.
Adrian's going to be doing it. Adrian keeping some eyes out here. Beauty-ah. Man, their double points day, a very fortunate zone for them. Rolls of War decided to go all the way late on the eastern bridge. Actually, on the western bridge, I'm sorry. Yeah, Rolls of War on the western bridge going to be crossing through. Yeah, you can see this right here. Meanwhile, SLR, unfortunately, Koi.
He's all the way out in Narnia.
Oh my gosh, what is going on with these codes? What are they gonna do? And then Chief is laughing now because Team Liquid are gonna be in a really good position.
I feel like I would
as we
do
watch
better.
Inco Gaming fighting it out for their lives here. And this is going to be against Titan. And it the shotgun. Juancho almost gets the run over. But those tires just not wide enough. And they're gone.
Yeah, it's a big fight for Inco Gaming. They're a team that, you know, they had a solid second place on the second Miramar of the day. But the rest of the matches have been somewhat quiet. The bonus points need to add up, at least in this last game. End the day strong for your double points. But unfortunately, for a lot of these teams, they still got to move into the next zone. Everyone's looking at the water, I think. And while all this was going on, Jukes back towards that south side, NRG got in front of Team Liquid. Team Liquid full throttle towards SLR and zone. So a lot of players now really kind of struggling with, you know, people in blue zone holding you out against each other.
Oh, and that's the hard part, because a lot of the higher IQ teams, they won't do that, right? They'll just say, you know what, guys, let's just do a little temporary handshake and fight each other once we get in zone, you know? But the teams that decide to commit to this, it just totally destroys those other teams. So we'll see how this all plays out here. Again, now the zone is like, might as well be circle 6 at this point, just because of how much water is still in play. Spec, and not near the rest of his team. Very, very predictable.
He crashed as well. All of his teams to the east. I think you'd honestly figure the whole team would be with you. And
where are they?
Ayala took the hill. I'm expecting Team Liquid to just full slam Spec, but It looks like they're going to fight for the hill. NRG does make their way there. It's going to be a 3v3 fight for the mountaintop juice.
Here they go. Ayala popping out. Let's see how the team play is going to be. Molas just wide out in the open. And that's got to be a miscommunication. Oh, the run over. Spec coming in for the rescue.
Dude, I'm not a bad player.
And I believe Cardoso gets taken out. What a play. Pre-fire
Oh!
coming out. Goodbye, Team Liquid.
I honestly just don't need the IGO.
Absolute clutch. He butchered the driving at the start, but comes in when it matters most. Huge
Let's
fight
fucking
for
go,
NRG. And that's
NRG.
the number one team in the lobby. They were close with Alpha 7, who currently sits dead center of zone. So NRG throwing a bone potentially to the second place team. And fortunately for them, still being able to keep 3 players alive in the zone.
Oh boy, what a play. Reyes. Almost
About damn time y'all show the fuck up.
Be over here right by farm. Nade's going out back. And forward play zone catches silence. And that is, Team Queso eliminated right there. Next zone about to pop. Where are we going? To the water. Might as well.
We're going north, baby. Come on.
Psych. We're headed towards the bridge. And guess who's in the center of zone? Entity 7. Once again, I'll tell you what.
I'm not bad at
these
CQC.
guys, they
coming back,
got that lucky hat on. They always
so,
find themselves
like
dead
right
center.
now, I don't want
But
it.
man,
but
this is a
give me some time to get back
zone.
into that shit. And
good one for NRG because
good.
NRG is going to be able to swim and they'll be in that circle all the way at that edge.
I don't need to like. I don't need to like jump. I don't need to like jump straight into it and shit.
Man, there's
no.
very few positions left available. I think we need to start seeing some swimmers. Just go for the placement.
You gotta send it in. NRG has a bit of a ridge on that eastern side, but I would have loved to see if Rattleboy is still kind of on that top part of the bridge. Koi ratting out Spec. That's, unfortunate to say the least for the NRG squad after doing such an amazing play. But look at this. NRG is actually just full driving up. You gotta get the points. Every point matters. And
spotted.
Splattered on the
that's right.
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's one of the worst ways to go out. Gunya and Hyper on the they were able to make it all the way on over to the beach. Okay, but they still got to watch out from that other direction. But I think that's too far distance, right? I don't think Fate and J7 are going to be able to see them from across the water.
Oh no, the south can definitely see them. The east side is what's more kind of out of render with Death Wolves. But NRG, if they take their time, they might be able to spot them. We'll have to wait and see. Stars. All the NRG players are out of it. Star is proning on the edge, but Entity 7 as well. It's kind of awkward because now you're the focus point for all these teams. And look at that, J7. One of them's knocked. Cunha jumps in the open. I hate seeing players panic jump. Gives you a bit of extra airtime for someone to knock you. And now in Hyper,
let's go.
I think they should have kept swimming in the water a bit longer before committing to the shore.
Let's
but
fucking
now
go
down to just a duo,
NGR.
0
Fuck up the lobby.
So their name on their double points there.
Yeah, or they should have at least tried to make a car wall right behind them.
Oh,
anything. Yeah, and they're just gonna get picked apart here. Very tough. Big heads up play there for
Let's
NRG.
fucking go,
Big points for
NRG.
them, but
Fuck 'em
man,
up.
this is double points day for Hyper. And they finally get a somewhat central position, but it's just too wide out in the open. They can't utilize it at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I don't think it's going to stop just there. A lot of other teams are going to be looking at this. Influence Rage is taking shots at people. It actually looks like someone sent, Inco Gaming sent onto the Entity 7 compound down to just a duo. Full 4-man, 3 out of 4 up for the Entity squad.
Well, what's going to happen, right? It looks like Inco Gaming, they want these eliminations. And once they realize it's Entity 7, they're going to press extra hard, I guarantee you. We'll see how they decide to play it. Nenebete and Nunez are down. That's that thirst. They definitely know who they're going against right now. 7. Gonna get that first aid off. Do they make somewhat of an agreement? I don't think so. Oh, actually, All Glory Gaming, is definitely in the mix. Now, they're not too far away from this. It looks like they're close, but they're at that other compound, so I don't think they're gonna be traveling here.
Yeah, the big thing, though, I don't think you really spotted it, but Vitaly was actually in a 1v1 situation, wins it, and then 7 was able to leave the other kind of barn building grouping up. So that could have been actually a solo on Inco Gaming, only alive. But now with them being a duo, I think if you're Entity 7, you gotta share now. You can't be pushing this because everyone's looking at you. But Fate, I don't know what happened, but he made full
What the fuck? Why are you throwing, dude?
My goodness. And now it's just the one. J7's 1 HP. He didn't actually get enough shots down through the smoke. Fate losing the 1v1 when it mattered most. Unfortunately, NRG only 6 elims, and I mean, you're gonna have to start swimming soon.
He hit it. He hit him.
More than one, though.
Unbelievable. And now J7's gonna got it. He has to go. He has no choice. Blue zone stings too much. You can't try to go for a bridge play. There's nothing you can do. You gotta swim. Smoke's coming out. J7. We're gonna have to use that buoyancy and start swimming all the way across. As Alpha 7 are still up here. Oh, Carrillo pops out. I thought that was an Alpha 7 player because of the orange, but nope. That is Be Bold. David ready to put in some work here.
Fucking
Let's see how they do this push. It's going to be a tough one here. They're going to be going for some runovers, and they get them. Be Bold, always staying true to their name.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, Alpha 7, they had to just send it into the water. 9Z was kind of gatekeeping him on the shoreline. He actually decided to swim, so both teams on the shore taking casualties, not being able to really stay alive. And Be Bold now, even though they're on the edge, they're a full-man squad. They're able to work themselves, if they wanted to, into the Inco compound, but they might also choose to stay on the shore. But Influence Rage, it's not stopping there. AGG winning a big 1v1 for the squad, but now we're seeing Death Wolves constrict on him. 1v4 situation. Every team is dying right now.
Yeah, Elite. Just going to be swimming in the water, holding it down. Alpha 7 forced to start swimming as well. I mean, I told you, right? We're going to definitely see some people going for a quick dip, and that's exactly what we're seeing. 7 got his eyes on there. Oh, he looked away, right? Yep, and he got the call from his teammate. He's like, oh, there's nothing worse than looking away right when they pop up.
Yeah, and I think if my math's right, it's about 5 players in the water. We're not going to be counting the N-Hyper players just yet. And then in terms of people looking at you from the water, it's at least 8 or 9. All of Be Bold. We're talking Inco Gaming, Entity 7 looking at you. So I'm expecting a lot of these swimmers to start getting pieced apart.
Yep, Mafioso down to like 1 HP at this point. Yeah, he stuck his head up. That's it. And it was David once again. I'm telling you. That is the player to watch for Be Bold. Oh, and Revo popped out the water and wiped N-Hyper. Are you serious?
1v2. I mean, you just expect the player. Maybe if it was NRG or something, you win the 1v1. But Revo, you cannot give him room to get on the shore. He just absolutely steamrolled N-Hyper with it. And I mean, I feel like we're repeating his name over and over again, but it's with good reason. And it looks like there's a boat out there not blown up, Jukes. I think he's going to get a reset on his teammate in the water.
Revo, shark, dude. So strong, dude. So strong. Popped out the water, wipes N-Hyper, and then goes to save his teammate. Next circle about to pop. Entity 7 locked on. Okay, let's see who's going to win this match. Hey, Furia are still up, and this is their double points day. Only 1 elimination so far. They have to win this against Death Wolves.
Yeah, it's got to be a 4-for-0, maybe 4-for-1 trade. And Death Wolves are getting tagged up on the cross. 1 knock already from Augusta. Make that actually 2. A little bit of a reset going off, but the utility's coming out, Chooks. No connections just yet. And this has got to end sooner versus later. Even if you lose a player, you got to commit to it. The shot's got one player. Oh, man.
Got to hit these shots, and they do. Critical win for Furia right there, and it was a tough one, but they are going to be able to still have 3 players up. They're now trying to look towards the zone. The problem is that is an open field right in front of them. Let's look at the replay. Through the smoke. Bop. Bop. See you later.
Yeah, FSS in the water. I don't even think he had a weapon out, so nice play out of them. Be Bold now forcing themselves into the water. Revo, he did get his teammate up with Mafioso, so Be Bold being held on the edge of the water. All these teams really feeling the pressure of swimming, and it seems like to me Alpha 7 going to be coming out on top of this.
Man, Revo, it's just so crazy. I'm telling you, they refuse to go down. There he is trying to blow up those vehicles.
Yeah.
And wow, David getting clipped there from Inco. This is their double points day as well. 9 eliminations. Wow. This is the game that they have been waiting for.
Yeah, and I mean, it's only stage 6. They'll still have a bit of breathing room coming into the next 2 zones. They could stay alive for the placement. Now's the time when the points start to add up. We are into the top 8 teams. Make that 7. NRG getting wiped by Alpha 7. There is the SLR solo and a 9Z Snake player left alive in the water, but You're wanting both those placements to go. Furia and Inko are hoping that all the solos get flushed out just for those few extra placement points.
Oh man, it's so crazy. Alpha 7, even as a duo, it's like they're almost an entire squad.
Yeah.
Just how well they play together. You could just see them just like locking eyes on anything that moves all at the same time, almost like a sentry unit.
Yeah.
It is unreal. And Inko, I mean, they had a great game number 3, right? They put up some good points there. This is a good one for them as well. Furia is still up as well. I mean, it's anybody's game. And Furia are actually in a really dominant position. Oh, did you see that player from SLR? I think he did.
Yeah,
He saw something. Oh, actually caught Elite way out there and got a hit marker as well.
Yeah, I think Adrian's watching, Artuzan just making sure, 2 sets of eyes watching the water. Someone's going to be able to spot him. It actually looks like a second player now coming over. SLR Huozan being down in just 1 HP, essentially. Both of these players in the water, they will get eliminated eventually, but with the zone shift, they've still got 20 seconds left. There's a lot of breathing room left for them to get found out.
Hojuan in a big trouble here. Yeah, that shot is going to hurt. And he's peeking out little by little. Those lungs must be completely depleted of oxygen. Every time he peeks up, he's eating a bullet. And, that nade from Kayovsky might just do it. So,
1 second.
Oh, just a little off the mark. It's just a game of Gopher right now. Let's see if he's able to survive. Nope, I don't think so. That shot's gonna do it.
And they know as well, Elite's out in the far side. Alpha 7, the zone shift did happen, Jukes. It went towards the east. Fury is gonna be in zone. Rose of War, Inko, Entity 7, they're gonna have to start sharing that compounder fighting. Along with Alpha 7, they're gonna have to move along the coast.
9Z playing a game of whack-a-mole as well. And Furia, man, this could be their game once again. 5 eliminations so far. Inko with 9. And this is double points day for both of them. They have a lot on the line here. And still, no matter what, Alpha 7 in the mix, putting up points regardless of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, they're making the wrap. They're doing it at the perfect time. Inko actually looked like Entity 7 left that southern barn. They went to the north 2-stack building, not watching the shoreline anymore. So a little bit of breathing room for the Alpha 7 squad as a duo. Furia not able to commit. But do they know if there's a solar? Oh, you got to keep going. You can't. No.
Yeah, he took the shot, and he's going to go out immediately. Yep. Sometimes that trigger discipline really comes into play. But you guys can see it on the bottom right. Alpha 7 passing up Team Liquid. But, you got to turn around. Revo down to 1 HP. And look at that. Elite hopping back in the water. Revo said, hey, hop in here, Mafioso. Let me try to get this res. Elite, are you going to pre-fire through it? Let's see. He hits the laydown. Oh, and he throws out a smoke.
Oh, man.
Did he spot any of them?
Yeah, but Revo, I think he's resetting immediately.
Oh, he saw them. He knows where they're at. Oh, instant knock right there. He hopped in the water so you can get a better sightline idea of where. Oh, it's back and forth. Who's the better shark, Revo or Elite?
Gotta get Revo. Got 3 already. He's taking the shots. 1 HP, and look at this. He gets the reset in the water yet again. Furia not going to be able to capitalize on this. And there's still a duo on the shoreline.
Oh, they refuse to go down. This is the final zone, folks. This is going to go down to nothing. And Alpha 7, they said, we're tired of this Team Liquid dominance. It's about time we take first place. And I'll tell you what, with utter tenacity, that is how you do it.
I mean, you're basically born with that in my eyes. Just the grind and the absolute just grit that Alpha 7 has compared to the rest of the lobby. Now, I do give credit, of course, to Furia on their bonus points day. But with this zone, it's going to be a matter of where you're at when that starts shifting. It's going in the open. Furia, they're trying to actually make a little bit of a vehicle wall. But in my eyes, Alpha 7, they've got an amazing spot in zone. It's going to be right outside of the compound in the open, Jukes. It's still anyone's game in my eyes.
It really is. The zone's going to go down to nothing. It's one of those fights. It's all about timing at this point, right? Who's going to be able to make the first move? If 2 teams fight each other, that third team is going to be able to third party it perfectly. I'm going to have to give it to Furia, though, because we're going to see Alpha 7 and Inko go at it. And we'll see how Alpha 7 holds this down because, they realized. Alpha 7 said, It's us versus Furia. If we're able to take them out, we can clean up whoever's left over from E7 and Inko.
Yeah, I mean, the compound itself, that's going to be a death battle in itself. Furia, my only issue is if they get stuck on those vehicles, the blue zone is not going to be playing. You are not going to be eating that. But with them being on that eastern side, they won that fight against Deathwolves earlier. Hopefully, they still have some sort of utility use, because we've seen it time and time again, especially with the first game of the day. Utility in the end game is worth its weight in gold. And now, I mean, we're coming down to it, Jukes. The zone's starting to close.
And here we go. 6 seconds on the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. The zone now about to go in another. Vitali popped out and got punished immediately. Seven's like, oh, this is not looking good. Those smokes should have already been thrown out a long time ago. And a little bit too late. Seven immediately taken out. So now that is perfect case scenario, because E7 can now set their sights in the center of the zone. It's anyone's game now.
Yeah, but Furia, though, they're having the nades, the utility. One of them getting knocked because of the two-story. I don't think they expected Entity 7 to clear the compound so fast. Furia now, what is the 2v2v1 situation? There's some resets going off, but you really kind of just got to working out of your positions. You got to get closer to the center of zone.
And the problem is, this is all open field. Honestly,
man.
Alpha 7 have the only cover. They're going to have the only cover here for a few seconds. And let's see what happens here, because Furia is going to end up battling Entity 7 as they run out. Who's going to win this fight? Koski hops in the vehicle. Nice shots there from Freako.
Yeah, but
Anyone's
Alpha 7.
game. Who's going to win this? Oh, Arthusen takes out Deblim and Mafioso. Who's going to win this? Furia. Oh, nice shots through the smoke. Getting some good hit markers onto Entity 7. But where's Revo? Where is Revo? He's still up and running. Arthusen now with the DBS trying to get these through the smokes. It's Furia versus Entity 7. Now he spotted him. Hits the mark.
Man.
Entity 7 is gone. And it's just Revo somehow securing at least second place.
Yeah, I mean, the water plays, we did not expect them at all to be staying alive as long as they did, wiping out N Hyper, the solos, and then ultimately getting the second place. But Furia, though, they were the team on that northeastern side, Cheeks. They had to fight Death Wolves. They had to rotate out into the open field, and fortunately for them, being able to secure themselves a first place as a three-man squad. Love to see it out of the bonus point squad.
I mean, seriously, we have to just give a round of applause for Furia. Are you serious? These guys put in so much work. Third place, and then the chicken dinner to wrap it up, Taylor.
Hey, feels good for them, right? I mean, 2 wins today, both of them being on Erangel. Furia made the most out of their double point stay, and they absolutely elevated up that leaderboard, and for good reason, right? Furia has been a team that has been hyped up. Actually, not only from you, Hot Chooks, I remember you, Enigma, the very first day you're on the broadcast. Who are we looking out for? And the name that you said first was Furia.
Yeah, I mean, I like kind of pointing them out, being, kind of a kicker in the horse of, this team I have high expectations for, and they must have taken that to heart, making me eat my words, because they went from, 10th, 11th place on that first day. They finished strong on week 1. Week 2, they come in the bonus points day. I mean, it speaks for itself, and the squad, they couldn't have pressed me any more than they did today.
Shout out to the replays instantly showing 2 cars just violently going through everyone that they possibly can. NRG Galaxy in a big fight against TL. TL would ultimately get finished off. So would NRG Galaxy against SLR. It was chaos at the beginning. So many eliminations taking place, including another run over, Hot Juice.
Oh my gosh, runovers like crazy. But can we just talk about this toxic zone, Taylor? What was your reaction when you saw that shift go back to the bridge? Very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I tell you what, that makes sense. That makes sense. Just pure utter silence, because I was in shock as well. I couldn't believe that we saw such a crazy play. And Furia, I mean, they really worked for this, right, Enigma?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these teams, this zone shift was towards Milta after that troll shift, and then went all the way back to the west, and then went all the way to the river in Furia. I mean, they were having to make the mad dashes around the zone, but this end game, I mean, we were talking 5, 6 swimmers. There was a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
And fortunately for the team, Taylor, Fury is able to secure themselves the win.
I was watching 9Z Elite. I was so pumped up for him because he sat out there for so long like a shark in the water, right? And he was just ready to pounce and eat up Alpha 7. He got one down, and I thought he's getting the second. Ultimately, he does it. Alpha 7 is just so hard to take out. Doesn't matter how many players are left. And then Furia, here it is, the final moments through the smoke. DBS with the finishes. You love to see it. I mean, Furia, again, just such a good team. 10 eliminations to finish off the day. And a 40-point banger. Absolute banger. So what did we get here, Hot Chooks? Furia with 40 points. E7 finishes off very strong with 26. So does Eco. All three on their double points. But let's also not forget Alpha 7 with 12 is enough to pass Team Liquid. Game 6 was monumental for multiple reasons.
From downtown, man. What a day for Furia. I think this is going to be the best double points day we've seen so far. I don't see how it can't be. Because, I mean, 2 chicken dinners, crazy performances. What, game 4, they had a second place. They did everything they needed to do. Now, it's how do you play the same way for the rest of the week, right?
The rest of the way. I mean, how do you be consistent when it's hard to be consistent, right? Not only because of the competitors you're playing against, but also because your double points only last for one day. Now, how can you continue to work your way up when everybody else is going for double points? 9 through 16, not that exciting. I want to be completely honest with you. N-Hyper struggling again. 2 points. Only shouted them out. Look, we're talking about North America, and N-Hyper today, they needed to have a strong day. I expected them to be the front runners. Unfortunately, they were not. Well, there it is.
Okay.
Alpha 7 in first place, putting Team Liquid in second for the first time in many days. Furia also staying in third place. But Hot Jukes, I am so excited to say that gap now, which at one point was nearing 100, is now just about 54 points from Furia to Team Liquid. There is an absolute chance now Furia can catch up.
Yeah, but you know what's worse for the rest of the lobby? Look at the gap between third and fourth, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What is that? 51-point gap?
Jeez.
That's crazy. So I was saying it was a battle for third place. You know, it's going to be a battle for fourth if these other teams are not careful. They got to keep an eye on these squads.
Fourth place, right? Only one spot, and then the spot you're fighting for is a qualifying spot? Enigma, not a place you want to be in, but the reality is, seems like that's where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you got to swallow that pill of, we allowed this to happen. We allowed first and second place to get 150-plus point gap. We allowed third place to catch up at some point. And now it's going to be, 14, 13 teams fighting for one position. Right. Obviously, there's the bonus points, but a lot of the teams, especially today, they kind of fumbled on it. I'm looking at N-Hyper. I'm looking at Entity 7. Obviously, they moved up looking at this, but in terms of 11th place, that top 8, it's still a huge gap.
It's a huge gap, but let me say this about Entity 7, okay? They were at one point the worst team in this tournament. The worst team out of 16, okay? We were consistently talking about how bad E7 was performing. And honestly, at one point, even calling them one of the weakest teams to the point where, hey, if you want free points, land on E7. Yeah. Hot Jukes, they have managed to go from the worst team now to quickly working their way up to be middle of the pack. In fact, almost passing N-Hyper, something I would never have expected even just 3-4 days ago.
Most improved, baby. Most improved, without a doubt. And it all started with that one chicken dinner against Alpha 7. I think that was it. They just needed that. We talk about what is it that makes it click, right? All they needed was a win. They needed something to kind of get their confidence going and start playing the game, because positionally, they've always been great, right? But when it comes to fights, they've suffered. But now they're starting to fight back.
And I'm happy for it, man. I really am. Again, the theme when we started this series was every day is a chance for somebody to improve and for someone to make a difference. And E7 now is that team. And when I start seeing one of the worst teams performing, like honestly, middle of the pack, and who knows how far they can continue to go, I get excited because it shows that any team, no matter how bad the start, can have a tremendous impact in this tournament. Now, how far will E7 continue to go? That's up to them, but you're absolutely right, Hot Chicks. That victory against Alpha 7 was the catalyst they needed to continue to move up, and I hope they continue to do so. Enigma, it was a great day of action. You guys have been going through the gauntlet of casting, just pretty much